me count down. What's good, everybody? What is this? This is Touchdowns and Tangents, episode 100. I'm Tds Camarillo.
And I'm Kenneth Frank James Barry.
And
woo!
We made it to episode 100, finally, officially. It's here. And guess what?
I'm lit. I'm hyped.
We're a little lit, but it's all good because you know how Los Angeles is. When it rains, people flake. People play for the LA Flakers.
Flake worse than dandruff.
So it's all good. It's me, Kenny, and
we have a special guest,
Brandon Mackin.
Shout out to Brandon for actually
follow on Instagram _BMac.
Go_BMac. Yes, sir.
Shout out to Brandon for actually pulling up despite the rain.
Richmond native, Bay Area. We go way back.
Yee.
We got like
Tom Bennis.
We got like 8 cancellations like an hour before because of the rain.
I can't believe the Saints really lost this game. I'm definitely losing in fantasy this week.
But it's all good, man. If anything were easy in this podcast game, I don't know if we would make
easy?
it. No, that's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Yeah.
We thrive. We thrive as the underdogs. We thrive in pressure. That's what we do, and that's all this is. So,
and honestly,
shout out to everyone listening out there. Episode 100, Touchdowns and Tangents. Shout out to the Good News radio station for hosting us, being our home, especially these past couple weeks since our speaker and all our podcast shit been down. Shout out to FBC Radio. Shout out to X Squad affiliates where you can always hear this podcast.
Terry, yep. Shout out to all those guys.
Yeah, and real quick,
Easy.
so while we have you, Brandon, since you are the only one who showed up for the 100th episode,
Man.
Somebody might be on the way. We may still have guests.
why don't you go ahead
Awesome.
and tell us what you think about this podcast and really why you pulled up?
You know, I pulled up for the turn up.
At least he's honest.
Hang out with the bro. I mean, I just met Pete for the second time. We met. I
don't remember, but
you don't remember?
I was probably.
We don't
lit.
even need to talk about that.
That's a whole nother
We really
situation that
We
all
really
of us
don't.
cannot
really
legally
don't.
speak on.
Exactly. You know.
It's weird how all my friends know each other and I'm the only one that knows that.
Yeah, I guess.
Like,
But you know, I had to show love. You know.
Well, we appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
So thank you for pulling up in the rain, the
course.
traffic,
Of course.
all the bullshit, and we hope you enjoy the drinks and the assortment of sweets and fruits and water and beer and liquor.
Pete has bananas. I don't know why.
I bought Coke. Coca-Cola, that is.
And a pack of M&Ms.
A pack of M&Ms for Kenny. You know, Kenny want the M&Ms. And then some gum, for after.
Yep. And honestly, I think we should just start with like a quick rehashment of how we got to this point.
Yeah, so you go first, Kenny.
I just want to say, man, first off, and
You want to thank your moms?
my mom's listening on the app right now, so yeah, shout out to you, Mom. Thanks.
Yeah, shout out to Ms. Berry.
Yep.
There you go.
Why you say with a Z, you weirdo? Just say.
I just wanted
say
to
Mama
emphasize
Berry.
the
Say
S.
Mama Berry. She considers you like her
Mama
adopted
B.
son that she technically hasn't ever met yet, which is weird. That y'all haven't never met. But man, the fact that like I came here on an Uber and I went to CVS and they didn't have any Henny. I guess Henny Kenny won't be coming out tonight. That's okay.
Kenny, I like that.
Henny Kenny's a dangerous man. But anyway, life of the party.
I've seen you like that.
We're not gonna talk about that.
Let's talk about that.
Actually, no, let's do talk about it. 'Cause I'm still mad about how a girl kind of flaked at the end. But whatever.
Yeah, true.
I mean, there was kind of an incident where like we're out there. I don't know. Shout out to that security guard that told us to be safe that night, and that one homeless black dude who tried to hit me up for money because he thought we were gonna go to IHOP, and I was like, "Fuck IHOP, it's IHOP K forever."
Oh yeah, that was a good meal. That was good.
At Denny's.
Good looks on
At
that,
Denny's.
Kenny.
At
Kenny-
Shout out to
Kenny-
Norms, man.
Shout out to Denny's and Norms, but fuck IHOP and everybody who loves them.
Yeah, Kenny was buying everything that night.
I literally
What about Carol's and
Carol's is cool too, but
Carol's
I'm never
is
there.
Fire.
Carol's is underrated on the
But
low.
It's not.
Coco's?
You can't find them.
I've never been to Coco's,
I don't
but
like.
I heard they're good.
I don't like Coco's like that.
Mimi's?
I like the movie though.
I heard Mimi's. Mimi's? That sounds like it's
Millie's?
pretty- Millie's? I gotta
Millie
try that
Rock.
one out.
Millie Rock.
Millie's actually pretty
Hey.
good. I fuck with the skillets. Boo. Let's just ignore him.
If we ever have video one day Holy shit.
You'll see how fucked up Kenny be coming in here.
Bro,
and
you,
of
right?
course I'd be the first one to drop an F-bomb. After we said we weren't going to cuss on the 100th episode.
You said you weren't going to cuss. I didn't say I wasn't going to cuss.
That's true.
Shit.
But yeah, go ahead, Kenny. Go into the inception of this podcast. And conglomerate and audio experience.
The conglomerate is manifesting itself? I feel like there's stages to, but I mean, it all really comes back to, well, the punk ass sundial. Shockingly.
Wow.
But first,
that's not me, so please remove me from that comment.
Is that the liquor talking?
I don't know what that was.
That might have been the Jack Daniels. I don't know. I'm sorry. Or I might not be sorry. I don't know. But just to clap for us. 100 episodes. It's weird because I listened to Joe Budden's podcast, and he hit 200 this week. And I'm like, damn, were we really? Like, we started ours like right when they were kind of jumping off at theirs. Because they just got Maul on.
100 late, though.
Yeah, but like, they're famous, and like they had Maul on in like the 80s. So it's like, they didn't really become the Joe Budden podcast until like the 80s, 90s.
True.
But anyway, man, when it comes to us, like, we were at a point in our lives, or at least for me, I think it was 2015, 2016. We had been talking about it. We should do a podcast, or just we should do something. Like we
even
should
go back, bro. Give the unabridged edition. So
okay,
it's 100.
I can finally do that.
Yeah,
I can finally do it.
This is finally the venue for you to do that.
All right. So,
and honestly, if you get tired of this shit and you're listening, call in and share a memory of touchdowns and tangents. Share a take, share a tangent. Otherwise, shut the fuck up and listen to Kenny tell the story.
Bitch asshole.
Even I'm gonna shut the fuck up and listen to Kenny tell the story, which I never do. So you go for it, Kenny. This is your time. It's your 100th episode. You're shining. You're glowing right now.
Somebody
get in there.
I got you. I came to be the bartender.
That's the great. Pour some Coca-Cola in there too and some ice. Nah, but for real, man, it's crazy. Like my path, I went through a lot of foul shit towards the end of my time at the Sundial, and mostly just to CSUN journalism department in general. But that's my own beef. I'm only speaking for me. Pretty much former editor-in-chief.
Get to the show. We don't care about that shit.
I have to get to that part.
Nobody cares about that shit, bro. Talk about the show.
I thought you said you weren't going to cut me off, dog.
All right. Yeah.
I can't do a prequel. Like, you're Thanosing my fucking backstory here, and I don't appreciate it. But anyway.
Nobody cares about your I'd rather hear about your fantasy team than your backstory.
I'm going to get to my fantasy team and the bullshit collusion that's going on. Shout out to me getting Ezekiel Elliott, but I should have had Mike Evans and DeAndre Hopkins, but people acting like hoes. Anyway.
Calling.
Shut up. I'm going to mute your mic.
Like I'm bold.
Thank you for this drink, Brandon.
No, that doesn't hold up.
Of course.
No, it doesn't.
It only works for
Yes, I just took a drink on live air. Anyway, so.
I mean, I've been doing that.
But they heard me. I purposely slurped into the mic. Pause.
Pause.
Real. Wow. That's bad. Anyway, so I was in the middle of writing for different websites, sports websites, but I was like, man, I got a different call. Like, I want to get back to when it was like we had like a sports podcast network essentially at CSUN. Like, we had a monopoly on that. Like, we set records. That's all I'm gonna say.
What do you mean by that? Please elaborate.
Thank you, Pete. See, that's how you be a good B mic. So
shut the fuck up. I am not a B mic.
I'm sitting at the board, so you are the B mic.
No, I'm not.
Could you just not argue with the host, please? Thank you. So,
you're definitely not the host,
Pete,
but
I thought it was co-A mics. I thought co-A mics, right?
Yeah, we're co-A mics.
Nah.
See, you want to give me an A minus. You can't just keep it fair.
No. Let's keep it 100.
Pete got
Let's
a
keep it 100.
Pete,
He's a talking head.
I'm the microphone.
I'm the journalist.
First off, you work in communications. You're not technically a journalist.
It pays better though.
You can't even legally write.
I'm sure of that.
Okay, so now we're outing people on the air. All right, cool.
You just outed me.
We exposing people's
halfway.
Industry ties, huh? All right,
I didn't
cool.
expose your industry ties.
All right, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't. You did. Technically, like 6 episodes back, but I just didn't say anything. I'm gonna tell you what you said.
When Andrew called in, yeah.
Why you say that? I wasn't gonna say that. But anyway, so it really just came down to I wanted to get back to podcasting. I wanted to do more than what I was working. I was not in school. I was working my way back in school, And I just needed a change, but I kind of didn't know what direction I was going in. And I was really reluctant to even go back to CSUN because of how shitty I got done. Till this day, there are people who like I went to school with, and for some strange reason, like they fucked me over, but like they.
Bro,
I
save
don't
this
know.
shit for your end. Get to the
Hey,
fucking show.
hey.
You haven't even talked about
Stop
touchdowns and tangents.
Cutting me off, bro. Like I'm trying to
about
get to the
touchdowns
point.
and tangents.
I am, but pretty much Pete came to me one day and he's like, "Bro, like we should try like starting up something." Like he talked about it before. He did a podcast. He was terrible at it, and he needed me because I'm the A mic and the talent. But no, in all seriousness, we had chemistry, and I was
guess.
like,
He just feels dead air while I'm promoting shit like right now.
not true at all. I'm just great with transitions and other things. But when it came down to it, it was like, yo, we don't need to wait on other like news media outlets or whatever to give us a shot. We can just do our own shit. And it was like, why don't we just do like how we did Football Friday, which is what Pete created. I eventually came on. It blew up. He didn't like Todd Gurley. I just want everyone to know that. I've been saying it forever. He was not a Todd Gurley fan, but now he's all on his jock. There.
First of all, I'm not on his jock.
Yeah,
Second of all, I did not like Todd Gurley.
By the way, this is the essence of the show.
I was just
The essence of
skeptical.
our friendship. I say something, and instead of him just being like, "Yeah, you kind of right," he does what he's doing right now.
I was skeptical because of
I thought
Chubb's
you
success in the same offense, which,
And
as
Sony
we know,
Michel.
Chubb is also a great running back. So
on,
go ahead.
On my fantasy team, by the way, shout out to Nick Chubb. Those knee injuries kind of took his.
Bro,
pure
let's just
speed.
play a drinking game. Every time Kenny says his fantasy team,
Let's
we
fucking
drink.
do it. You think I'm not? You think I'm afraid?
Yeah, every time he says
Touchdowns
brings
and
up his
tangents
fantasy
go
team.
73 deep.
Damn, I'm about to be dead by the time.
You might be. So it came down to like first we started just going to get hood Chinese and be like, all right, what are we gonna talk about, Doug? Shout out. What was that? What's that Chinese spot in the valley?
Wong's Walk,
Shout out to Wong's Walk.
Satakoy in Tampa. Shout out to them.
Oh, one of the things
Also,
that
shout out to Smart and Funnel for providing most of these goodies.
and that CVS that in Northridge that doesn't have Hennessy. I don't know why you don't have Hennessy, but hey,
I usually assume that businesses and organizations and places that don't have Hennessy, I just automatically assume they're racist.
yeah, that's what.
Like
it felt
honestly,
and
like,
the dude at the fucking
I really
White
honestly
man,
assume
the dude
that.
at the
White man
register
now,
was
yeah.
taking forever. He asked for my like CVS card. I'm like, bro, you haven't finished bringing up the guy in front
And
of
if
you.
they don't
my
have-
Uber's outside. Hurry the fuck up, please.
And if they don't have anything, like if they don't have Remy, any sort of cognac, then that's just not a place I want to be.
They had too many versions of Jack
Facts.
Daniels, and I didn't like it.
Facts.
So I just they had a hella Stella Rossi. I was like, dog, no one's drinking this much Stella Rossi.
See, you know
Except
the white
alcoholics.
folks get Jack, so
But I mean, I like Jack Daniels too.
Jack ain't bad though. Yeah,
It's not.
yeah, true.
They didn't have Hennessy, and I was just like, oh, I was hurt. But they had
were trying to fight
they had
somebody
Jameson.
going on.
I almost got Jameson, and you see me in my Jameson.
Jameson's fire.
I would have got Jameson and Sprite, and I'm invincible on Jameson and Sprite.
I mean, we might have to get another one. You feel me? So,
But anyway, and weirdly, this whole conversation kind of goes into how Touchdowns and Tangents really came about is because we would just be talking about real life shit and be dying laughing and cracking all types of jokes. But then getting back into sports and then realizing, like, these same athletes probably be talking the same exact way, realistically. And Pete obviously has his ties. He has a blood feud against Vontez Burfict, which I think is hilarious. And I have a blood feud against all South Bay football teams except Londo High. By the way, shout out to Londo High School.
with his Lawndale
My Londo football hoodie on.
sweatshirt,
Pictures will
hoodie.
And
be taken.
ironically, I'm wearing a Birmingham pullover,
They lost, though, and they're still doing construction on their football field, which will never be done.
and I don't coach there anymore. But still, it was just ironic. We didn't even coordinate that, and we're both out here.
Really didn't. I just
repping
knew
high
I was
school
going to wear this
football.
hoodie, though.
Shout out Del Campo.
They won.
Nobody knows that.
Nobody. They went 6-7, bro.
No. We was a good football school, honestly.
You were the best player?
I was a receiver, yes. Of course I was the best player, bro. On offense.
They didn't let you play defense? You're like, nah, chill.
No, actually I played safety, but I was better offensively.
You were one of those guys, huh?
You're like,
Safety receiver,
you were really better at safety, but you were
Yeah,
also,
but you were like the best bet they had at receivers.
You're like tall.
You could only
You
play
can be seen
receiver.
as a deep threat. You somehow have the best hands. They can't call you like Jordy Nelson. You're more like a white Mike Evans.
I was like a Julian Edelman only because that we the same size.
I mean, you should have just took.
But I was
Mike
mossing people like that though. But I wasn't 6'3", obviously. I'm only 6 foot. So
yeah, fair enough. I mean, they don't know that. I would have just lied and said you were 6'5".
yeah, I'm 6'3".
I was trying to shoot you bail, but all right, never mind. You don't want it.
Yeah, what's up? I'm 6'3". 6'3" with a deep voice.
We'll edit that.
Are you trying to flex on our internet radio station right now? Is that what's good?
Like
Are you trying to flex on the
they
good
don't know
news
my
radio
face,
station?
The good news is he's from the Bay Area, so this is totally approved. So yeah, we just kind of eventually started out really slow. We started out every segment on the show, like the different segments that we've had in the past, has actually been the name of the show. So Touchdowns and Tangents was the last iteration, but we started with, what was it? I think it was TDs. It was some with touchdowns. We were like, nah, that's trash. First we were like Taker Tangent. Then we were.
It's a fire name.
No, you're lying.
Might I add.
That's really not
From
what
the
happened.
outside.
No, I can't remember the
That's not
original
really what
name,
happened.
but it was something else. And
it's
we
a
did it
fire
on
name.
that
The
Mixer,
first name was Unnecessary Toughness.
which I came up with because there was a show called Unnecessary Roughness, and I was like, I want to avoid copyright
You was
infringement.
biting. You was biting. Though.
Hey, creative licensing, bro. Creative licensing.
But
That's
that's
what
called-
Disney does.
Is
But
that
pretty much what we realized about our show was that it was pretty much us giving fire takes that no one else was giving, and us talking about random ass shit. So
And having all the facts to back up all our shit talk, so you can't ignore us. Like we would set the barbershop on fire with our takes, and we still do. I feel like we're most barbershop's favorite podcast. They just don't claim it publicly because they don't want to hurt some of their guests or some of their clientele. But it's cool.
It's a fire name. From the outside looking in, y'all picked
Appreciate that.
dope
Thank
ass
you.
name.
Thank you.
But that's really Kenny's doing.
Like it
And
was.
shout out to Maricruz for doing all our logo. We got some new logo shit coming down the
Yeah.
pipeline, so pay attention for that.
When we do that
Y'all,
rebrand,
man,
y'all
shout
need
out
a
to that.
logo with you two on it. Like you guys need a profile.
I've
pic
been
with you
saying
two.
that, bro.
I would like.
so we
yeah,
haven't found the right time to coordinate a picture day.
bro right here.
Yeah, plus we both
Right in
like
front of us.
20 pounds over our playing weight.
First off,
D-line.
No, I'll just go with that excuse.
D-line.
I'll go 20
I'll be a
pounds.
D-back. D-line. We
I
working
played
this.
every position on the defensive and offensive lines. So,
yeah,
but
I
mostly-
know it was
Including Right Pine.
I know.
That was offensive. I already put my heart out on this podcast saying I had my leg shattered in high school.
I know.
That's fucked up.
Including exercise bike.
At least
Training room
no,
guy.
No.
Training room
I had too
guy.
much self-respect. I had
Training
too
room
much
guy.
self-respect. Dog, I would just live through practice and still be fucking people up. Like, you get me on this play.
I knew
When I
there
get the
was-
feeling back in my leg when these painkillers
I knew
kick
all
in.
the DNs was hitting Kenny with the swim move.
Nah, never
Yeah.
that. No,
Hey.
no, they tried. They
Hey,
would
don't
line up on
lie.
my bad leg.
Don't lie.
And I would punch him on the ribs.
Did you have Easton, Shaq, or New Balance cleats?
Neither.
You thought about it, though.
I was like, New Balance has cleats?
Wait,
So-
Shaq
gross.
has cleats?
Yeah,
Bro,
they
we
did.
had this
back
one
in the
team-
that's
day.
crazy.
That's disgusting. I couldn't do Under
I used to
Armour.
have Shaqs though, not gonna lie, but not the cleats.
I mean, they were $30.
Yeah,
I
that's
never,
when I was in like elementary.
I never
though.
had Shaqs.
That was
The most-
before the playing days.
The most I had for Payless were Airwalks, and they're better than Converse. I don't care what anyone
Shout
says.
out to mom.
Airwalks is a quality shoe. I'm standing for Airwalks because there's actual padding in them, and they look just like Converse.
Airwalks weren't always a Payless shoe.
I don't give a damn. But I fuck with them.
Shout out Airwalks.
You really did just shout out.
You
fucking
just shouted out
Airwalks on this
Shaqs, dog.
podcast.
You shouted out Shaqs.
Hey, shout out to Starbury. Shout out to Lightning.
I never got the
Shout
Starburys that were like $13. I wanted them, but I was like, nah, chill. He got mental issues. I can't be wearing a dude's shoe who has mental issues.
You got a statue in China, though. He chilling.
He is. Or
Made a
maybe
bag.
He is. I mean,
All right, man, but finish with your fucking story on touchdowns
Shout
and
out to
tangents. This is
Armstrong to do
touchdowns
that
and
test.
tangents
Hey,
at its
bitch,
finest.
first off, who you talking to like that, Pete?
Hurry up.
Shout out to Keith Good News. He said TDs and Tangents is way better. Yes, it is. That's why I came up with the name.
Keith. What's
Me,
up, man?
Kenneth Frank James Berry, came up with the name. Pete helped. By the way, Pete doesn't get enough credit for the fact that like he put me onto a lot of hood Chinese spots in the valley. He kind of ran.
At
the
one
valley.
point, I really did like just drive him to try Lizzo Chinese.
Like I had
food.
I respect
dope,
Chinese food spots. There's two of them. There's one we got to go back to that's like in
I'm trying to go.
North Hills, not North Hills, but you know where it is.
Canoga?
I'm trying
Canoga, there we go. The one in Canoga, that shit was fire.
We went 1-on-1 there. One time we got shitty food. One time we got really great food. So.
No, we went there one time and that shit was insanely high. I think the 165 runs down that street. That's how I know it was really good. But it really came down to me and Pete realized we actually have, aside from chemistry, we really have dope shit to say. And honestly, we feel like we're better than a lot of these so-called media figures.
Except for when Kenny has indigestion or
hiccups on the air,
or hiccups or laryngitis or
I fought through all that though.
From yelling too loud at work.
I fought through all that and getting blackballed.
Throat diseases, Kenny.
Fuck you, dog. I have to overtalk Pete all day.
Yeah. Pause.
Because you never talking to the fucking mic.
Shut up. You're actually kind of right, Keith. Your question: who drives around looking for hole-in-the-wall Chinese spots?
We do.
This
Touchdowns and
podcast
does. Literally, I literally look around for a hood. I look for the most generic hole-in-the-wall spot. Like if it doesn't have
the best deals,
like
that's where the best teriyaki chicken is.
Like if it has a name that can be copyright infringement, that means it's really good.
Yeah,
Like,
but if it's like Walk Express,
like if like Chinese food.
Yeah, exactly.
And
you know what I'm
and
talking
about. If the H on the building is like blank because like their neon signs broke and the H don't work, that shit is the greatest.
Like we have no branding, no marketing. We just make Chinese food. And that's all we do.
We for sure shouted out all the Chinese spots on our pilots and everything. And there was a moment in this podcast, in this broadcast experience, this cacophony of intellectual sound and awesomeness. Yeah, I'm totally putting that on a business card. Where we literally didn't cuss at all. There was no profanity. Like I made a habit of it. We're like, yo, we're not gonna cuss at all.
I made a habit of it,
bro. I did too.
And then when we got to the good news, then I was the one who kind of went off the rails.
You totally went off the rails. You're like, damn. I'm like, dog. You said damn 6 times, and then you just started saying.
Damn isn't a curse word.
Damn's not a curse word. Come on. Now.
Is it?
No, they say it
Is
on
suck
TV.
a curse word?
Did you just say suck?
Bitch isn't even a curse word nowadays.
Wait, whoa.
Yeah, bitch is not a curse word.
Wait, this is news to me because I always thought bitch was a curse word.
It's a term of endearment.
Yeah, it is.
Like, what's up, bitch?
Hey, bitch,
ain't
that about it? Ain't that about a bitch?
Ain't that about a bitch?
That's fair enough. That's
hey, bitch, where's my food at?
Okay. I think we're borderlining on misogyny.
I don't know where the lines are anymore. They're all blurred.
All right, man. Hurry up, Robin Thicke. Get to your.
Did you just call me Robin Thicke?
You just said blurred lines.
First off, Ryan.
He said, yeah, true.
Ryan said, damn, he called out your indigestion. That's low, Pete. But, I mean, I could call out his hairline, which is also low.
That's a good
That's
thing,
good.
though.
Right, yeah.
Like, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Like, no, but, like, Pete's hairline is so bad that I'm actually proud of him right now.
Yeah, man.
I
went to the other Russian guy this time.
You went
Not
to a
the
Russian
same
guy to get your
Russian
hair
guy.
cut off. Fuck. Now we're
going to Russian people.
Now we're on a watch list. You got a Russian dude cutting your hair.
Hey, he did it in 20 minutes, man. Shout out to him.
Because he probably had a dead body in the back
I got
in
a
the freezer.
barber, but he charges 40. I mean,
yeah.
Wait.
On a tangent. So let me
I'm
bring this
still
up.
trying-
Wait. I got a question. No, hold up. Before we get to all that, let me ask you this.
This is also
Let
part
me
of
ask
how
you this.
this podcast took off. We talked about
How much do you tip your barber?
Ah, man.
I don't tip my barber at all. I pay him like $15 to $20.
Okay, you.
15 is the.
That's whack.
How much do you tip?
At least
Do we
five.
gotta? I gotta do this.
Okay.
I gotta do
If
this.
it's a good haircut,
Okay.
He's been cutting my hair since the 5th grade, bro.
Yeah, well, you got issues with your
probably
barber,
hate
which
that.
we ain't gonna get into.
No,
in case
That's probably why your
in case he
hair.
listened to this show.
That's
this
probably
time.
Don't make me talk about that. I'm going through a difficult situation with my barber
That's probably
right now.
Why your hair.
Okay, so shout out to
No, I
the
purposely grew it out. Okay, I'm gonna just get to it.
wait, hold on. Wait,
let's-
I want to talk about this.
Okay, go for it.
Shout
Go
out
for
to
it.
you. This dude really thinks he's A-Mike, bro.
Go
Calm
for
your
it.
ass down. Fuck. Anyways, so shout out to the homie Max, but he brought up this topic and was like, "Yo, you tip all these restaurants you go to 15%, and you be throwing your barber, the motherfucker who be having you looking fresh for 2 weeks, you throw him $2.
Yeah.
You throw him 10%.
That's facts.
That's like when
That's
Kelvin
backwards.
said he was
That's
only
true.
giving
That's
people like
backwards.
30 cents
Yeah.
and quarters and shit.
And honestly, that really changed my whole perspective because he's right. Like these bum ass waitresses give me 30 minutes of service and I tip them 15%.
Where
And I
at?
give my
And
barber
all they're
10%.
doing
Strip clubs
is
or just
walking you
restaurants?
food.
And that's literally their
They're literally
job.
walking you food and taking your order. That's it.
But and yeah, so basically,
that's not honestly the way I thought of it too, though.
But
yeah.
you don't
that's
get
a
your
good way
hair
to
cut
think
at a
of it.
black barbershop.
no, but even besides that, that's why.
Barbershops are different, bro.
Well, shout out to Max again, but that's why he said I got my hair fucked up last time because I only be tipping $2.
You went to New York and didn't. He went to New York and didn't get any barber hookups.
Oh man,
Bro,
I had just
there's a-
got my hair cut.
Bro, you
like,
could trip
literally
and
day
fall
before
and
I
find a
left.
barber in New York.
you need to stop having Russian people cut your hair first.
Stop having no one who's not attached to the African diaspora cutting your hair.
Well, no, a Mexican dude cuts my hair, but he has it looking fresh.
But he
so.
probably got like a black great grandmother or something.
Yeah,
So,
he's all tatted up, so you know he knows what he's doing.
Exactly.
Oh God.
He has the patience
Wow,
of a
we are
test.
stereotyping the fuck on episode 100.
I
we
mean,
might get sued. This might be our best show, and we might also get sued in the process.
we're not gonna get sued. Everybody, calm
This is what
down.
happens when you put liquor in a podcast.
We're not drink champs though. I mean, those cats.
But
drink
yeah,
way too
Kenny, how
much.
about your fantasy team?
Man,
I was
that's
taking a sip of my
another
drink.
I take another one now. You just
But
All right, get
I
back
don't
to
know
your
what's more
story. Get
depressing.
back
I don't-
to your story about.
I don't know what's more
Texas.
depressing.
we want to hear Pete's story too. Come on now.
Yeah,
Pete
hurry
got a
up.
goddamn story. Pete's
Yeah, I
story.
do. I
Pete's
actually
story
have-
is mostly my story.
No, I actually have a way
with the
better story. than you.
responsibility part.
No, I have a way better story than you. But go ahead.
I mean, that's because you wouldn't let me tell my whole
Because
story.
I actually know how to story tell and give a decent anecdote and
No,
nut graph and shit
I'm-
like
I'm
that.
telling you
Instead of just rambling and talking.
I'm not rambling. I'm telling you
Talking
how
head.
it happened.
Talking head. Go ahead.
You're a talking head too. I just have a better hairline. Relax. So when it came down to what we were doing with the podcast and how we were doing it in Pete's room, when he would purposely turn all the fucking air off and it'd be hot as hell in his room, he'd turn off the blinds and shit. I'm like, dog, are we hiding from like the KGB? Like, you could leave the fan on while we're talking in the mixer. We're talking to a phone in your old apartment. Shout out to your old apartment. That was a good spot.
Shout out to Ray Vaughn, man.
Fuck that Korean barbecue place next to your old apartment, though. The first place where you're like, damn.
All right, man, hurry up. Get to the story about touchdowns and tangents. Fuck.
I am. This is part of the story.
We're literally 30 bars and running in, and you haven't even told us.
Exactly.
You haven't even got to
No,
the
no, no.
inception
I'm
of
painting
the show.
No, I'm
You
painting
haven't
a
even
beautiful
got
picture
to the
for you.
inception of
Yeah,
the
No,
show.
I told you the backstory, and now I'm about to tell you when we knew this shit was going to pop off. After we went like 40 episodes without cursing, and we were hitting our stride, and literally every one of our episodes.
See, this
It's
is why
topical.
I fuck with Kenny, because he be saying the randomest shit, but somehow don't get lost in his point and comes back full circle.
And that's why this podcast is great.
like,
That's why I'm a talented ass.
like
nigga.
I really can't believe you found your point in that 15 minutes of rambling.
I always
that you
knew
just
my
did.
point, but sometimes, you got to pack the sandwich. You got to pack the blunt sometimes. But anyway, so we got to the point where it was like, we actually got something here. We got something going. And, man, I'm telling you, with my job, like the past 2 years, like I'm coming from the South Bay all the way to Northridge almost all the fucking time. And practically living and sleeping on the bus. And Pete was at his other job, and we were trying to figure out ways to coordinate what day we would do it. And we finally found, like, okay, every Thursday. So Thursday is really an important day for the simple fact that we literally, like, base our
Thursday
lives
night
around
football's
this day.
on, and nobody gives a fuck about it.
They care more about my fantasy team. Let me take a shot real quick.
Except for this game was actually good. So shout out to the
Nope,
Saints.
not
and
for
the
my
Cowboys.
fantasy team. Fuck you.
Pete, you got to take a drink. He said,
I said 2 already. But anyway, drinking a beer, babysitting a beer over there. You're disgusting, Pete.
Yeah, who's driving your ass home? Shut up.
Fair point.
I think
Plus,
he-
rallies. That's man. So this is where the podcast also elevated. We started going to rallies after every episode.
It's also where I gained 15 pounds.
Your girl was like, "You should stop. You guys are gonna die." But Rallies has the best
She
fries.
literally texted me that. Like, he's not even
Rallies
exaggerating.
has the best fries, and Rallies honestly got ripped off by a lot of you hoe ass restaurants. McDonald's, Jack in the Box, Carl's Jr. All y'all ripped off Rallies. They got best fries, and shout out to the Rallies in Hawthorne where I grew up. The one by Eucalyptus Elementary School, right across the street from my barbershop on Hawthorne and 120th. They're the shit. They're awesome. They close and they'll back up. They got the best shakes, except for that one fat chick that Pete hates every time it comes to the window because she acting like a bitch and act like he don't.
Man.
Act
Nah,
like
that's
he
not
don't
even
hear
the
you.
fat chick. It's the skinny chick.
Nah, it's the fat chick because she's the one who's in charge.
All right, whoever, I'm C Mike, but whoever Ruben is said, how about them Cowboys? Fuck them Cowboys, man.
Cowboys can eat several dicks. Woo.
Hey, shout out to Woo, man.
I fuck with you, but not right now. At this moment.
They already knew who it was.
Yeah. Hey, Woo. Hey,
Why y'all talking
hey,
about
Woo.
Keith? Why you talking about Subarus in the chat room? What the fuck?
Woo, call back in call in like 20 minutes and you can talk about the Cowboys.
The
I'm
Cowgirls?
assuming Kenny's gonna be somewhere done with his story.
Shout
by
out,
that 20
shout out to
minutes.
Woo talking about Jamaican barbers. Exactly. He went to New York and didn't get a fucking barber connect.
All right, bro, get to the shit. Hurry up. I'm
Oh.
trying to get in here and trying to get to the content already.
All right, so we went from rallies.
This is why I don't. This is why I
Shut
don't
up,
unchain you.
Pete.
This is why I
Shut
don't unchain you.
What did this motherfucker just say to me? Did you just say why don't I change you?
You're like a pit bull,
What?
bro. You're
I'm
like a
black.
You're
and
like
you
a
just
pit
said-
bull.
He just said unchain me in front of a white dude in a fucking newsroom owned at a black radio station.
Oh God!
How
Here we go.
dare you?
Oh,
The
man.
gall.
You know what I
Hey,
meant.
Pete. No, I know what you meant.
Yeah, let
Okay,
you off the
Bob. Okay,
leash.
Bob. Okay,
All right,
Bob.
my
Okay,
bad.
Bob McNair.
Let you off the leash. My bad.
Oh, so went from a chain to a leash, my nigga?
Whatever.
Really? Wow.
Whatever.
Damn.
Point is,
Hey, Pete.
you're wild.
Pete. Oh, so I'm wild. I'm on
Yeah.
a leash. These
Yeah,
are all
you are.
these are all trigger words for slavery.
now.
These don't have shit to do with your ancestors. This has to do
You
with
playing
you
the
as a
ra- you
person.
playing the race card
This is
now.
I'm
you.
playing the race card?
Yeah,
Playing
you
the
are.
race
This
card.
is you,
Hey,
bro.
everybody listening.
This
dude.
is you,
You see
and
what
then-
Pete just did?
this is you,
And now
and
Brandon's
any-
white ass is going with him. Brandon,
I'm just trying to
aren't,
move on
aren't
to.
your best friends black? Come
I'm
on,
trying
you're
to
supposed
hear
be
your
agreeing with me
fucking
on-
story. Holy
I'm just
shit!
trying
Stop
to
cutting
finish
me
the
off
story.
then, because I'm almost at the end. So
Hell nah.
after so many, no, we are. After so many episodes, after so much funny shit, after so many, me going on the bus and meeting Pete at random times and doing the fucking podcast recording, and us before we hit good news, we were literally doing the podcast in a parking lot across the street from that rallies at that dope ass hood Chinese spot that I took you to off Hawthorne and 120th, because Hawthorne has some of the best Chinese spots per capita. Fight me if you think I'm lying. We can fight, seriously. We've come to the point where we're like, okay, this has become a legitimate thing now. Like we've had legitimate, journalist figures, head coaches, players, business owners, millennials, people our age who are really chasing their dreams and doing big things, and we've had them on this show. And that's honestly one of the things I'm most grateful for, is that like we've been sticking to it, and we're really only scratching the surface of what we can be. It's just a matter of more people catching on and listening. But I feel like we're a well-oiled machine. It looks like it's chaotic, and we have no idea where we're going. We have no idea what the fuck we're saying.
He's lying.
But I'm literally okay. Shut up.
It's more like the latter.
It's a little bit of everything, but at the same token, we know our shit better than the competition does, and I feel like our competition is the status quo, where like everybody's trying to get on. The whole shit with like people all going to the Athletic and places like that new form of, I guess, what journalism is becoming, and we just feel like we created our own
Clout
standard.
chasing.
Yeah, clout chasing, but I feel like I came with the hashtag, we're culturally concise commentary. The brilliance of the realness. We're
I
real,
wouldn't say we're concise, but
we're pretty concise, if you know us and love us. But for the most part, we've been putting in the work, and like I said, we forgot more about sports than a lot of people know, and we actually...
I forgot about that one. We used to say that tagline a lot. You don't say it anymore.
Yeah,
We don't say a lot of our taglines.
yeah, you stopped saying it because I feel like either we got humble. I feel like we got humble. Definitely we got humble. But for the most part, from my end, this shit has come an amazingly long way. And it was kind of what we envisioned, but now we're at the next stage of our, like, we can go further. Because I always saw it as like, you know what? I really don't. I want to be my own boss. Pete wants to be his own boss. And we have the power.
I didn't say that. I just want a bag.
This nigga. fake. I swear, who gave it? The fakest dude
That's
fakest realest dude I know. I don't understand it.
That's fact.
Like you want a bag, but like you don't want.
That's
You want
facts.
you want to be your own boss. Whatever. I want the bag too. I get it. But more so like
Man, I'll go through and delete my archive of slander on the Athletic and ESPN right now.
a hoe for that.
I'll go on Twitter right
You
now and
a
delete
hoe-
all them motherfuckers.
You a whole entire hoe for that. That's
I mean,
what you know.
I want a bag.
I want a bag, but they won't hire my black ass. But we can go. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't think it has to do with your black. With
Yeah.
I
you
know.
being
I
black.
just like throwing that in
You'll
there.
say you want a
Yeah,
bag,
just-
they'll give you a backpack.
They would. They give me free. They give me free
Yeah.
shit. They're like, we know you from the podcast.
It might
You're
even
the king
be a
of free shit.
grocery bag.
That would be fucked up. They'll give you a grocery bag
Filled
inside
with-
of the bag
in it,
with a
some
laptop
Funyuns and
case?
water
Filled
in
with
it.
Cheerios.
They'll hook me up like I'm a
Cheerios,
backpacker.
peanut butter.
They'll treat me like a fucking. They'll treat me like
the-
extra napkins.
They don't give you the
With a-
food pantry
With a most towelette.
some ramen,
With a moist towel. Hot water and a fucking
some
thermos.
canned corn.
And they give me a fucking notepad on the beginning that says on the front of it that says you are
Jesus
everything
loves
you
you?
need. No, you are everything that you desire and everything that you need in life. Bitch, I just wanted a job, but all right, cool. Yeah, honestly, I feel like this thing is just independent of the industry, but I'm pretty sure we me and Pete at the right price will definitely sell the fuck out. We'll totally sell out. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Staples Center.
Oh,
Oh
snap.
shit, what's good, Bob?
Bob Garcia.
What's up?
The Bob Garcia.
The fourth, right? Or is it the fifth?
Yeah, of course, man. Never forget that.
Never forget that. Put respect on every single Roman numeral on this man's name.
Hey, Bob. So you're live from Staples Center right now. What's the update? What are you saying?
Especially on your fantasy team. You can give that too. You'll have to
Is
drink
that a
for
drink?
Yeah, that's a drink.
Heck of a game.
Hello?
The Pacers missed the first 11 shot. First quarter for the Lakers. You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. 'Cause,
Yeah, the first quarter was a good start for the Lakers. They got scored 38 points. Pacers missed the first 11 shots. This second quarter, this guy scored, I think, 18 points. So it was pretty much, I guess, falling in line with what they've done that season. So lead and then get it back up, and the rest of the game is just going back and forth. So it's pretty much we've gotten used to the season. But yeah, I mean, it's nothing surprising so far.
All right, Bob. So while we have you on the air, this is our 100th episode. You're our go-to NBA guy. So first of all, let me ask you, number one, just talk about how far you've come and talk about what you're working on and your journey. And then just talk about what this podcast means to you and why you're always wanting to come on here.
Well, first of all, I mean, beyond me, I don't really like boasting about myself. It's not me, but first of all, for you guys, I know it's a really good achievement for you guys to get your 100th episode or 100 podcasts. It's all pretty cool, and also even better that you guys are both Matadors, so that's a big bonus there for me in my eyes. And you guys, it's always been great to come on with you guys. It's good conversation. It's easy to talk to you guys, flows, and love the opinion. So it's been great to do that with you guys. As for myself, it was 5 years since I graduated from CSUN. Had numerous writing jobs. There's ups and downs, but you gotta keep pushing yourself through it. Still doing it right now. Right now I have touch points, but it's always you're always looking for to improve yourself. Always looking to get better. You never really settle. It's just there's always something to improve on, and I'm not where I want to be, but I'm getting there. And touch points is a good start. Sports Out West is one heck of a start too. Come to Lakers the last 4 or 5 years, and it's been a bliss to be able to do this and be able to cover them. And
Yeah, man. Don't
Kobe.
Don't downplay yourself, Bob. You come a long way, man. You
You're
pretty
awesome.
much made yourself into a Lakers beat reporter. You featured on Hoops Hype. You've covered the Rams.
And you never sold out.
And you haven't taken a bag from the Athletics. So we love you and we thank you, man. We appreciate you. So before we let you go, because we know you're on deadline, what's your keys to the rest of the Lakers season and them getting back into the playoff picture?
I think first thing is they gotta find a way of just. I mean, you know, LeBron's gonna give every night, and he's gonna lead the way. I think they gotta have the number 2 guy, whoever it's gonna be, has to step up consistently, because if they do that every night, then it's gonna be hard for them to find some consistency, because LeBron's gonna give you 20 and whatever triple double like numbers he's gonna get, and you got to have that consistency there. I think secondly is their defense. They improved, since the start of the season, but if they don't show more improvement on that end, then it's going to be the same old, back and forth in games, having their offense try and, carry them, and defense, hurting them in the end. But they get those 2 areas, they can find a solution in those 2 areas, or at least get better in both. I think, they'll be in the playoffs, and, who knows from then on.
So, as far as like Luke Walton, because I saw something on the internet talking about like LeBron taking the team over. Do you feel like Luke Walton more just has to coach the rest of the team to work with LeBron, or where do you even see his future with how things are looking?
I think Walton, it's obviously the scrutiny's on him. It's regardless of how the season goes. It's going to be on him to put together some kind of game plan that's going to acquiesce to LeBron's skill set, and also to the young guys. I think the young guys are following suit. It's just more of them figuring out how to play alongside LeBron, and it's still an ongoing process, as you can see. There's always a different young guy that has to step up, and it's a lot of it's too, I think, on Brandon Ingram, because there's a lot of expectations on him. Being a number 2 pick from a couple of years ago, and him, people thought he would step into that role, right away. But I think it's something you got to give time to. And as far as Luke's coaching, I think it's something that's gonna, pick up as the year goes along. And I think, there won't be as much on him as I think they'll turn around at some point next, month or so, and you'll start seeing, what kind of team they really could be.
That's what's up.
All right, Bob. Well, we thank you for calling in, man, especially when you're working on deadline. We really appreciate that, man.
And if we could pick anyone to be our fantasy
NBA reporter.
Guest, yeah. Right, you would be in the All-Star fantasy lineup. That's 2 times as a fantasy. You need to drink, Pete.
All right, man.
I appreciate that, guys. And I know, congrats. I'm really proud of you guys for what you guys are doing, and keep going. You guys have something good going there, and can't wait to see what's ahead of you guys.
All right, man. We appreciate you. We got to get you in here soon.
You're welcome. Yeah, definitely. All right, guys. Have a good evening.
Thanks.
You too.
Yeah, man. That was Bob Garcia the 4th, Lakers beat reporter, Clutch Point, Sports Out West, one of our good friends, fellow Matador. Shout out to him, man.
Shout out to Woo. Yes, I did break the record for bringing up race on this podcast, and I broke it again. That was my greatest fantasy. Drink again, bitch.
It wasn't fantasy. It's fantasy team. That's the key word here.
Nope. You said fantasy team, so you got to drink twice.
Whatever. But yeah, man, shout out to Bob. We just go on a tangent on the NBA because we can, because that's what we do.
And honestly, that's like...
But that seems like a good segue into my story about touchdowns and tangents.
My shit ended fantastic. You got a lot. Like, I gave a full, encompassed, fucking Forrest Gump type story. That shit was good.
So pretty much what had happened was...
Jenny was a hoe.
What had happened was, there I was, sitting at my desk, minding my own business.
You wrote this down before he came here.
I actually didn't, but anyways, like I was saying, sitting there minding my own business, scrolling on ESPN on some downtime between doing some advertising bars.
Scrolling on Instagram, looking
stuff
at
like that.
I'm kidding.
Probably. I might have been doing that on the side.
His Instagram is
shout
filthy
out to my girl,
as
I love
shit.
you. But yeah, my Instagram really is full of shit.
Good shout out.
Yeah, bro.
I said filthy as
yeah,
shit.
don't look at my likes. But anyways. That's what my girl gets for not being here. Whatever.
Dang.
Anyways, what had happened was I was scrolling through the Bleacher Report, and there was a bunch of podcasts on there, and I was like, man, there's all these fucking white dudes sitting in a room talking about football. And I would try to listen to it to get me through the day. And honestly, I was just sick and tired of it. And I was like, bro, this shit that I used to do in college with Football Friday was better than this.
The fucking greatest.
And as Kenny mentioned before, I had done a couple other solo live podcasts on my own.
They were fucking trash.
And it's not that they were trash. They just weren't that fun because I was trying to, like,
the world will never hear them.
I was basically like Derek Carr right now, you know, trying to carry a team when I'm only a good player, not an elite player. But yeah.
And then I came along. Khalil Mack?
Nah. I wouldn't say that.
I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
you're more like Amari Cooper.
Amari
we don't know
Cooper?
what you are.
Yeah.
Brandon, what the fuck
You might be
Lee
elite.
Smith? Brandon's Lee Smith.
Because he's white?
No, because
he got to be Lee Smith because he's white. He can't be Jared Cook.
For you the whole time.
He can't be Jared Cook.
He can't be Jared Cook.
At least
You can be Seth Roberts when
at least I got the Pro Bowl bid. If I'm
you can be Seth Roberts when he had all those game-winning touchdowns. Is that fair?
Fuck out of here. Hell no.
You don't even want him that year?
No,
At least
fuck Seth
give me
Roberts.
Crabtree.
You're Marcel
I'll
Reese in
leave.
his prime. You're
Huh?
Marcel Reese in his prime.
Anyways,
He
man.
was an all-pro.
He was Pro Bowl, yeah.
Anyway, so I saw these white dudes on these podcasts, and I was like, man, the shit I used to do in college was better than this. So I connected with Kenny, who was still at CSUN at the time, and I was like, man, honestly, honestly, bro, we should just do this shit on our own. The technology's there. It's easy. We can literally cut a podcast on the phone.
Exactly what I said, by the way.
And he was like, all right. So pretty much we started doing a podcast in my room on Mixler. Shout out to Mixler. I don't even know if it's still around. It's actually an app for live DJ sets. So it's not even really an app for talk radio.
We changed the game on Mixler.
We made it our own. We did that. And then we came to a point where it was like, unnecessary toughness is cool, but we ain't really popping off. And I started doing some more research. I was like, let's take this a little bit more seriously. So I researched a bunch of different apps. Came across Spreaker, which I still can't say to this goddamn day. And so we started talking about names, and we were like, well, touchdowns and tangents. That's pretty much what our show is. We talked to some of our friends about it. Shout out to Andrew. And he was like, yeah, man. Once we played the pilot, he was like, yeah, man, I feel like this is your sound. This is your deal. Few dozen episodes later, few funny titles later, and here we are. Touchdowns and tangents.
I like that because that was way shorter than yours, Kenny. Shout out to John and Moran for listening in.
My shit was way
That's my
funnier,
boys
though.
right there. Shout out to y'all.
Shout out a mixtape, too?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Oh,
sir.
look who just walked in the fucking room.
Yes, sir.
Ryan Mancini.
I wasn't done with my story, but go ahead, take
Somebody
the caller.
just-
Oh, shit. I thought he was.
Go ahead, take the caller.
Shout out.
That's why.
Hello, caller. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, my name is Diane Berry, and I'm calling from Gardena, California.
That's mom's.
What up, Mom?
What up, moms?
Hello, gentlemen. How are you guys doing?
Awesome.
Almost getting drunk.
Good. I want to congratulate you on your 100th episode.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm very proud of you both.
We couldn't have done it without you. You're one of our most loyal listeners. So shout out to you.
Yes. I'm very proud of you both. But I wanted to ask you gentlemen both a question. I don't know if you both can answer separately or together, but, you know, you have little rumors flying around that I'm just curious about that Kevin Durant might be leaving the Warriors. Do you think this will be his? Do you guys think this will be his last season with Golden State?
Yes.
Mom, wait. You called in on our 100th episode to ask about basketball on a podcast that's about football.
Okay, I know about basketball.
Don't gas your mom,
He's
dog.
leaving the
My
Warriors.
mom gassed me
Don't
yesterday.
gas your mom
He's
on
leaving.
national
No, I'm just playing. I
air.
love you, Mom.
I just wanted to know what
No,
you
no,
guys
no.
thought about it.
He's leaving.
He's leaving.
If he's even, he's leaving.
If he's not leaving, Draymond's for sure leaving.
Draymond just gonna leave anyway. Draymond might ruin the team.
Okay.
Draymond and Kevin Durant would not be on the same team next year, in my opinion.
All-Star game.
Okay, so you guys don't think so.
Draymond gonna go to the Thunder just to piss off the Warriors.
Okay, no, he has to stay with Golden State. But since you two said that gives me a lot to think about. You guys have answered my question. I was hoping both of you guys would have said no, but, you know, just have to wait and see. And congratulations on your episode, your 100th episode again.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mom.
Good night.
All right. Love you both.
Don't rush my mom off the phone, you punk bitch.
You're the one over here gassing her.
Love you, Mom.
All right. Love you both.
All right, later.
All right.
Asshole trying to rush my mother off the phone.
You're the one.
Introduce your new guest.
You're the one who shitted on her question.
Oh, please.
Honestly, though, I was kind of proud.
My mom's
I was kind of proud when you did that, honestly, I was gleaming.
She raised me to
I was
do that.
gleaming. I was honestly happy.
He was gleaming. Talk about But anyway, the fantasy lineup of journalists
That's
is
another
almost
drink.
complete.
That's another drink.
Every time I say fantasy or fantasy, like...
Yeah, Ryan
products,
is the new guest. I guess I'll introduce him.
Ryan Anthony Mancini?
Anthony, really?
Yep. RAM. That's your acronym for your name.
You're wrong.
Is that for your
Andrew
football?
Mancini.
Andrew.
There we go.
That's like the easiest one.
That's how
of,
it's tied
similar,
in.
I guess.
I mean, last time he was here, we were talking about that
Black Klansman.
yeah.
the fact. God damn.
Uh-oh.
Jesus.
That was a great movie, actually. That was a great movie.
Except the
Pretty
dude.
good movie.
I liked it. Yeah.
Hello, caller. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Andrew from Boston.
Hey! It's lit. It's lit, bro.
What's good, Andrew?
We talked no football.
Hey, I just figured I had to, I missed the beginning of the podcast, but I still had to get a call in and congratulate you guys on episode 100. We were there when it started, back in the old days before Tds Tangents. So just want to call and say congrats because it's been a long ride for you guys, but we're all really proud of you, and it's fun listening to you guys and seeing how far you've come along. So I'm happy to hear you guys tonight.
As we've said multiple times,
Thanks, El Jefe.
every time you call, we wouldn't be here without you, man. So
He's the architect.
shout out to you. Shout out to the Sundial lineage. Shout out to C-Sun.
Not the whole Sundial lineage.
Yeah,
fuck like 7 of those people.
Are you able to?
Some of y'all still follow me too.
Are you able to reveal your personal news?
Oh, yeah.
Drum roll.
Oh, you talking about out here in the newspapers?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, literally the reason I missed the beginning of the podcast is I was getting out of the Boston Herald. I just started the Boston Herald first night tonight. So
shout out to
I'm
you, man.
Top editor of the Boston Herald.
Very good.
Talk your shit, Andrew.
They got girls in there.
How does it feel?
Yeah, we can get
how
into
does
it.
it how does it feel going from? I don't even remember what the city was called in New Mexico.
First off, don't
to being in a top 10 media market.
Yeah.
At one of the top 3 papers.
Wait.
Oh, I mean, obviously just first night, but it's great. I mean, when you have like literally Patriots reporters, Sox reporters, pro sports reporters, literally down the desk from you. I mean, I barely said hi to everyone today, but knowing that I'm at the paper that was the voice of all these sports teams out here. It's an institution out here. I mean, it's literally night one, but it feels good to see that name, Boston Herald. I mean, you could talk about their politics, you could talk about digital first media buying them out, but at the end of the day, it's nice to go to work and know that you're working for an institution, a voice, a brand for sports out here in Boston. So it's exciting.
Yeah, man. Shout out to you. We love you. We appreciate you. We support you.
Is this a dream fantasy come true for you?
I mean, it's Boston, so I mean it's bittersweet, but it's still. I'm still happy. I'm grateful to be out here. So, yeah, it's been a fun ride.
Congratulations, Andrew. This is Ryan, by the way.
I said your name 7 times.
Hey,
man,
it's good to hear Ryan too. It's been years since we've all been together, but I mean, it's it's funny to hear Ryan in the studio on Tds Tangents, but I'm happy to hear that he's there. I don't know if he's going to talk Saints Cowboys, but I'm glad that he's there.
Whatever he says, it'll probably be related back to some dirty inside joke when we were all roommates.
Oh man, yeah, we could go for hours on the Sundial, the C-Sun stories, the origins, but I mean, yeah, it's just
Meridian Point being mad haunted.
Yeah, Geronimo's.
We don't speak on
the roommates. the cold mornings with the iPad in the Sundial podcast room.
Your best friend.
The stories that
the couch.
Your best friend.
Legendary couch.
Oh. No, yes, the story's for another day, another podcast.
His favorite chair.
He wants that story off air.
All right, Andrew.
Oh my God.
Well, thank you for calling
Brandon.
in,
nice
man.
to meet you, bro.
Yeah, shout out to Brandon.
Fucking stupid.
Oh, man. Thanks for having me. I just wanted to give a quick shout out. I'm
No worries,
glad
man.
to call in for episode 100 and can't wait to do this for episode 200, 300, and so on. So glad you guys are still going.
Yep. By then, we won't even be on the show anymore. They'll just have like a random black and Mexican dude. It wouldn't be
And we'll be executives.
We'll be at the Atlantic. We'll be working at the Atlantic and all that shit. Being podcast editors.
All right, man. Well, have a good night. Get some sleep, dude.
It's only growing. Yeah, for sure. But
you got a corporation to break
through.
through.
Podcast and
you got a publication to break into.
Yep. Listen to your Travis Scott and all that good stuff.
Astro World.
Oh no, yeah. I'll
yourself.
I'll be calling in and.
Be yourself, man. You got to bring that West Coast flair.
Yeah. No, seriously, I haven't gotten around yet, but I mean, there's no West Coasters out here, so breaking in baby steps.
You gotta let them know.
Andrew's like, I want to hang the fuck up on you, Pete, because this is a boring conversation. And talking to Kenny, Ryan.
Kenny, stop eating all them cookies.
Shut the fuck up. But anyway, Andrew,
no, man.
we love you guys.
Yeah,
we love you,
I
man.
mean,
you were like the perfect, I'd say child wrangler because we all were like, it was an animal house.
Whoa.
I was an Animal House. Yeah, you're trying to get us on me too, bro.
Child wrangler.
Yeah, you dry snitching.
Really?
You are dry snitching.
How is
bro.
that child? Unless
The guy
you're
who
child
wasn't,
wrangling.
the guy who
All right,
wasn't.
Andrew. He just got a nice job. You're over here getting this man.
I'm joking. We're like, it's not a conflict of interest for you being on this podcast. We love you, Andrew.
No, it's all good.
Have a good night, man. Congratulations.
You guys too.
Peace.
Have a good one.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Andrew, his new gig out in Boston, man. Love him.
These cookies are fire, though. Fuck you, Brandon.
Yeah, man. You over here hitting cookies instead of hitting the hang up button. This is why you can't be A-Mike.
He's like, no, we
First
can't.
This is why you can't be A-Mike,
We can't
bro.
talk. I gotta eat.
Yeah, this is why you can't
Off
be
the
A-Mike,
mic.
bro.
Off the mic, I might
This
add
is why
you.
you can't be A-Mike.
You tried to hang up on my mother. You tried to hang up on Bob. You tried to hang up. You hung up on Nick, you piece of shit.
Because we only have so much time, bro.
Bro, it's
I still haven't
it's
even got to my
9/11.
story.
That's true.
He took 30 minutes
Holy
to go over a
shit.
story. At least my story.
I literally took 5 minutes.
My story incorporated
No,
everybody, did
don't-
it not?
don't
My
talk.
story had the chat room fucking lit.
You really
His
can't
story
talk.
had everybody. Ain't nobody said shit in 20 minutes.
You really can't talk about his story, though.
Brandon,
Compared to
Brandon.
yours.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, he has callers, though. He does have callers.
This ain't my fault.
Touchdowns and tangents. State your name and location.
Yo, what's up, man? It's Keith.
What's good, Keith? Mr. Good News?
What's up, man?
You outside,
What's
bro?
up, man? I just wanted to call. And say, man, happy the real 100th episode.
Facts.
Officially.
Last time Jackie brought champagne and shit, because Kenny pump faked her, but
Pete cooked up the numbers. Pete gave me false numbers. He's the numbers guy.
but either way, man, it's still all good, man. It's been a pleasure having y'all, man, a part of the Good News Network, man. It really has been. I've been loving y'all show from the beginning, man, and just y'all work ethic. I told y'all from the beginning, it's unmatched, man. So y'all deserve to be here, and I'm looking forward to another 100 shows, man.
Man, we really appreciate that. But Keith, it's Thursday.
Yo.
We tired. Hit us with some motivation right now, man. We need it.
With some motivation?
Yeah, hit us.
Okay,
hit us
look.
with the Keith pep talk.
I need the pregame.
Hey, man, I'm gonna give y'all two, man. One of them comes from Gary V. Somebody asked him, what's 3 words of encouragement, and he said, "You're gonna die."
Yep.
And
Let me drink
as
up.
funny as it is, it's true, man. So you might as well go all out anyways. You know what I'm saying? This is a one-way ticket. You might as well make it first class. You feel me? So, you don't know how much time you got left, man. So just make sure that every day, man, is really being put towards your craft, man. That's really important, and I think y'all do a good job of that. And also, my man E.T., the hip hop preacher, says, "You know what's gonna happen if you quit, but you're not sure what's gonna happen if you keep going." And the unknown is where success is. So, keep moving and not knowing what's going to happen, and you're going to land yourself right where you want to be, man. So I'm proud of y'all. Happy 100 shows, man. Kenny, you stop eating them damn cookies. And I love y'all, man.
Thanks, Key, man.
Why does everyone pick on me?
All right, John. I'm still listening.
All right, man.
All right,
That's Mr.
The
CEO.
Panthers are probably going to win this week, too. Peace out.
Keith, good news. The GOAT, the legend. Appreciate him calling in. He usually calls in, but yeah, man. So back to my story, which is actually a good stopping point. Shout out to Keith.
Oh, what? Sorry, I fell asleep.
It's crazy because I'm always the one that's skeptical about everything. That's just who I am. But when we walked into the Good News radio station, I left here gleaming, happy, excited, ready to make a move. And Kenny was the one who's skeptical, which, if you know Kenny, he's never really skeptical about anything. He's actually...
You said skeptical, dog. He can't say skeptical.
I'm actually just slurring my words because I'm drunk, but yeah, go ahead.
Right, you drink a beer.
You're dry snitching again. Here he goes. Kenny the dry snitch.
Snitched on me.
God damn it, I want to get to my story. Let's get to the caller. Touchdowns and Tangents. Give us your name and location.
Nick Seacom.
Oh, the original.
Hang up on me again.
The original
hey, Nick,
first caller.
Nick, I'm running the boards. I won't hang up on you.
Thank you.
He'll just eat all the cookies.
I appreciate it.
Shut the fuck up, Ryan.
Hey,
wow, Kenny.
I just wanted to call in. I was the very first caller, and I did get rejected within 30 seconds of calling in. And I've been listening to your podcast for the last 30 minutes, and I do want to say that congratulations for making the 100th episode. I know I've given Pete a whole bunch of shit within the last couple of years about his podcast, but I've definitely seen the changes, and I've definitely seen the improvement, and it all sounds good, and what you guys are doing is great. So
thank you.
I'm very appreciative of your guys' work, and I think you guys are doing a great job.
Hey, shout out to you, Nick. We love you, man. We appreciate you. We know you be working hard in the gym. You be making moves. The media, advertising, stuff like that. So shout out to you, man. You've been making moves. I'm proud of you too, bro.
And I think a big part of this is just maturity. Like a year ago, I was a different person than I was today, and so now I'm starting to really appreciate what people are doing and see the work and the time and the effort that they put in, and it's all in good faith that I know you guys are doing well, and I know karma's going to hit back at you one of these days, and you guys are going to make it big.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. We're going to come to you for some ad sales.
Definitely. And some workout tips.
Nice. I've actually got some leads from different podcasts who been wanting to get some exposure with billboard advertisements. So maybe you guys that's your guys' next step once you guys get a little bit more funding.
That's what's up, man. Thank you for calling in.
We appreciate it.
Hey, no, but I had a serious question though.
Go.
Should I hang up on him now for
So
dramatic effect?
I've actually tuned in to the Clipper game. I know
I'm really gonna fucking hang up now.
Yeah, we are too.
We're
watching
Go
it
Kings.
too.
And I hate Sacramento, but go Kings.
Go Kings.
No, but seriously. So with the surprising start of the Clippers being, 14-6, 15-6, whatever their record is.
14-6.
The first
Do you
seed.
think this is the right move? Do you think this is the right move to have a whole bunch a team of deep role players doing well instead of kind of falling short, playing the middle, tanking, and hopefully getting a good pick of, a plethora of different picks for the 2019 draft?
Well,
do you think they should continue to do that?
No.
I like how Pete just went first.
Here's the issue with all
You
that.
should trade for a superstar.
The Clippers lose their pick if they make the playoffs. So that's number one an issue. They give it to Boston due to the Doc Rivers trade, which is still trash.
Oh, you're right.
Picks?
You're right. You're definitely right.
So that's kind of stupid about it. And number two, it's like, yeah, Shai is great, but is he a franchise player? I don't know. And then you got all these other aging guys who are going to get off. And as we know with the Lakers, getting a free agent isn't guaranteed, and it might take you 3 seasons. So
nobody wants to go to the Clippers. Let's be real. Everybody.
I don't know. Kawhi wants to go there.
They want the glamorous.
Kawhi has New Balance.
The glamorous lifestyle of being with the Lakers. Let's be honest.
The Clippers should just sell high.
They'll go playoffs, in my opinion, but they should tank, in my opinion, because
they should get Zion.
Exactly.
And LaMelo the next year.
They have to build. They have to build through the draft.
LeVar Ball.
Up a couple of their players for a couple draft picks for next year's draft as
well. Talk about the bottom of the bungalow.
But this Clipper team reminds me of the Atlanta team where they had Jeff Teague, Kyle Korver.
That's actually a good
comparison. With the 5 All-Stars.
And then got
all
the All-Stars. No one expected them to play this well, but they play like a team.
Yep.
But you know what happened. They didn't go far in the playoffs.
Exactly.
And their team quickly dispersed into other roles where Atlanta is in the position they are right now.
Look at them now.
Luckily, they got Trae Young as a pick, but they were pretty garbage for a couple of years after that amazing the amazing season they had with those players.
All right, Nick. So real quick before we hang up on you, you got to do 3 things. Number 1, you got to shout out your favorite brunch spot. Number 2, you got to shout out your favorite lift right now. And number 3, you got to shout out your social handles.
This is your favorite lift?
That's just
what was the number 2 one again?
Your favorite lift.
I don't think he want to hear. I don't think he want to tell his side of the story.
He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to tell.
Nah, man. I'm just making up the universe right now. I'm giving Nick his plug from 9 months ago.
You ass.
I appreciate that. Favorite brunch spot right now? Man, there's too many brunch. I don't have a favorite
social
brunch
stop.
spot.
Social R10 Social Lounge.
Day drinking spot.
You know me. I like my Santa Monica West Side girls. I'm gonna have to go with the bungalow.
The bungalow. Oh man. Oh man.
You know me.
Them day party bungalows. Those day party bungalows. They're legendary.
Yeah. You got it. And then
gone, you got
social media apps. NICK.SICAM. I'm pretty positive there's no beautiful women listening, but if there are, check me out.
Damn.
You know where to find me.
First off, my mother's listening, you asshole. Now I'm gonna hang up on you.
I thought since I came on, you're
not a girl.
They'd
though.
follow. They would follow. They would follow.
Oh God! All right, man. On that note, have a good night. Thanks for calling in.
You too.
Y'all nasty.
You too. Congrats again, guys.
Thanks. Have a good one.
Yeah, man. So,
tell your punk ass story, Pete.
Shout out to Nick Siga, man. My boy, my brother. One of the dudes. One of the first people I ever met at CSUN, man. Really put me on. Really showed me some shit. Really, we have some great fucking memories that we halfway remember.
God damn it!
Oh, see what happened? You scared the caller away.
No, I didn't even press anything.
It's Jordan.
Thanks for ruining the surprise. Hey, turn your life down in the background, caller. What's your name and where you calling from?
Jordan Ball.
What up? It's Jordan.
Why you snitching?
Jordan Ball, I'm calling from Lincoln Heights.
Jordan Ball. Bro, he's snitching worse than Tommy on Power, dog.
Yo, hold on. I got to address something first before. What's up, Pete?
What's good, Jordan?
What's good, bro? Hold on, I got to address something. Kenny, stop slurring your words, bro.
I'm drunk. Don't worry about it.
What you drinking on, yo?
Bro,
a lot of Jack and
whatever
else.
Here.
Yeah, where you at, bro? We over here watching your Kings.
That's nice. Yo, watching Bagley go to work in the post.
Bro, that's our Kings.
Wearing 35. Ugh.
Yo, I'm not gonna tolerate that disrespect. But nah, I wanted to call in and say
talk about Ohio State.
Because,
the JETS.
No.
The JETS.
Listen, let me.
He slandered J. Cole too.
Bows?
Hold on. Let me give y'all flowers now before I go in on y'all.
Start with kindness.
Exactly. Start with kindness, then you're gonna get this flurry. But I just want to say it's crazy. I was listening to another one of my favorite podcasts, the Joe Budden podcast, and they just had their 200th episode.
Yeah.
and seeing that you guys are on 100 and remembering how you guys started, it's crazy to think back. So it's like, what will you guys be in another 100? You know, so like keep doing what y'all doing. Kenny, I don't know what to say about you, bruh. I don't know. Only because like, you lost cause. Listen.
What did he call me? Call me a lost cause?
I'm glad. I'm glad.
I'm gonna get up and leave.
Listen, only because you wilding right now. Calm down. It's 100. Congratulations. You got 100 more to go.
It's like when we thought we was done running laps
for 100 more. You about to end the night tonight. Like
I work tomorrow, so it's cool.
Damn,
I'm enjoying this moment.
100. Jordan says it's ending at 100.
Yeah. I got work. I gotta wake up at 3 a.m.
Nah, shit. I got to work at like 5 o'clock tomorrow p.m. I'm good.
I got it at 9 a.m. So.
No one asked you, Brandon.
But you know.
Shit.
Oh man, I don't even want to
Hey, but real quick, so you gonna address your
Jets?
Buckeyes or your Jets? Or what's good?
All right, one.
They're gonna lose to Northwestern.
Do you guys have the horns or something to play for the Kings of the Big Ten? But okay, hold on.
Plot twist.
Who do you guys think? No, I'm gonna ask you guys a real question because I'm taking my bias away from it. Who do you think should get that 4th spot? Ohio State or Oklahoma?
Honestly, Ohio State, because
OSU.
Actually, no. I think UCF should get it.
Obviously, if Oklahoma beats Texas in the Big 12 championship,
they only have 10 teams in the Big 12.
Low Northwestern.
That's fucked up. They gonna bang on y'all.
Yeah, they gonna bang on you.
Northwestern's gonna bang on y'all and then get you
and pay their players
pay their players. They're gonna let all their players get businesses so they can make money, and Ohio State gonna be broke as fuck. Getting
and Urban Meyer just gonna be scheming everyone.
You need to go listen to my rant on Zach Smith a couple weeks ago. All the tweets he ran off.
Yo, I bet you a dinner. I'll bet
both of y'all too. Same thing. Ohio State is gonna make the college football playoff.
Okay, here's my issue.
Or they will deserve it.
They will deserve it. That mean they gonna get it.
I ain't taking y'all to no restaurant. Y'all can get some little Jack in the Box type.
He's the cheapest man I've ever met. He's cheaper than me, and that's hard to say. By the way, Ryan's here too.
Again, I'm taking
Mancini's here too.
I'm still here.
He said shit.
Oh, what up, Ryan?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Listen, okay, no, Kenny, because I'm taking my bias away from this. Resume for resume. Who has the better resume between Ohio State and
I agree between those two teams, but here's the problem. First off,
Ohio State slept through the first half of the season.
Kyler Murray's a Heisman candidate. Dwayne Haskins ain't winning the Heisman.
He's a Heisman candidate. What are you talking about?
He's not winning the Heisman, bro.
He's broke all the Big Ten records.
I don't care how easy was that to do because they don't.
By Drew Brees years ago.
A couple weeks ago, the 90th episode, we had Pete's teammate who went to Indiana, and he said, "Yo, DBs in the Big Ten are slow as shit." So, I mean, it'd be different if this was
Michigan had the best defense in the country,
and they got waxed.
Michigan State
they got waxed.
Michigan
State is trash. Michigan State is the most trash eligible team out there.
Dropped 60 on them.
Haskins is dope. I'm agreeing with your offense, but your defense is trash. And the problem is Kyler Murray's more exciting than Dwayne Haskins.
Okay, Kenny. Our defense is trash, but it's not as bad as Oklahoma.
Yeah, because they play in the Big 12, but they only have 10 teams.
No. It's because Oklahoma's defense is historically
man.
I don't understand how – this is what pisses me off. I'm just going my fuck the Big 12 right now. Texas is overrated and trash this year. But just because they beat Oklahoma, like, on a fluke, they get to possibly play for a playoff spot? When, honestly, I think UCF would beat Texas ass if McKenzie Melton didn't have his leg destroyed. Like, UCF gets no respect. That's wrong. Oklahoma
UCF hasn't played nobody.
Bro, look at the Big 12.
Yo, UCF
you can't keep saying
deserves respect,
they've
but
been
not
undefeated.
over Ohio State.
They've been okay. I get that, but let's look at first off. They play in the Big 12, and there's only 10 teams.
Alabama, Clemson. If Georgia beats Alabama, they're in. They're going to lose. So
SEC
Georgia,
too.
So Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame,
and
who
Ohio
is that
State.
14?
Ohio State.
Oklahoma has more of a wow factor. Kyler Murray. It's
Do
politics.
that.
It's
Right
politics,
now, right
bro.
now.
It's
Right now
politics.
playing.
If they beat Texas, the cachet of beating a Texas team that is back, and Sam Ehlinger, who's having a great statistical season, they're going to give it to Oklahoma.
I would accept that.
Who has
Because
been better in recent
we're
years?
We're playing Northwestern,
matter.
so and they're playing Texas. That's a better win.
Hey,
That's
Jordan.
the only-
Jordan, let me ask you this
But if you're-
question though.
But if you're hold on. If you're talking resume, Ohio State beat TCU in the second week of the season in Texas.
TCU
That's something
is.
Alabama.
Wait, hold up.
TCU bowl eligible?
Hold on.
Because Baylor lost to
Alabama
them, and they're
has not
bowl
done
eligible.
that in since Nick Saban's been the coach. Alabama never goes on the road out of conference against a ranked team.
Let me
we
ask
do
you
that
this
in
though.
Big Ten, though. We know that. Big
Beat
Ten has to do
Alabama.
it.
Beat TCU in Texas. Beat Penn State at Penn State. Beat
Fantasy.
who's the other one?
Just your fantasy.
Hey, let me ask you this though,
Mancini ain't
Jordan.
drinking?
Regardless of the playoffs, if you make the playoff or not, do you consider this season a win for the Buckeyes? Number one.
That's loser
Number
talk.
two. Are you still Team Urban Meyer after everything that's happened
I'm Team Zach Smith.
in his
I'm
whole
just kidding. I'm
career?
kidding. I'm not.
So, okay, I guess both. I can answer with both questions. No, for both. I try to be partial to Urban, but I think Ohio State was actually playing its best ball when he wasn't at the helm.
I agree.
Think about
I
it.
agree.
Think
I
about
agree.
it. We went to TCU in Texas without Urban Meyer and kicked TCU's ass.
But TCU has like
That's one.
six
Then
wins.
we play Penn State. I think that was Urban Meyer's first game back. Struggled. And then we struggled from then on.
But Penn State
I mean,
always
we-
plays them tough. Penn State
Yeah,
plays them
but
tough.
it's
And if they had
still-
Saquon, y'all would
still-
got waxed.
Facts.
Still. Like, Urban Meyer-
Saquon came back.
Urban
Oh, he
Meyer-
would have ate y'all defense for everything.
Listen, but you got to think. We lost Nick Bosa
Yeah, that's a
in
big-
the second game of the season.
That's a big.
You mean
And
Maga
for the
Bosa?
year. That changed our whole defensive scheme. Our whole defense was centered around Bosa.
Your defense trash, but you still got first round picks on it. That's sad.
No, but you got to understand. You got to
corners
understand. Look at
my-
the Bears.
Isn't that the
Bears
story of
had
their
all
history, though?
The Bears, the Chicago Bears had all the same players, but you put Khalil Mack in there, he ups everybody else's level of play.
Why
That's
you got
what
to
Nick
take a
Bosa
shot
did
at the
for us.
Raiders? You didn't have to make that comparison.
Listen,
Why
you're
you
a Rams
feeling
Kudos
it?
to
Because
you.
you a Rams fan, supposedly.
I'm definitely a Rams fan.
Fake ass.
Look,
Shut
Kenny
your
likes the
loser
Cardinals.
team
All right,
ass
but
up,
anyway,
Brandon.
Fake ass.
Kenny,
When the Raiders
you a
are good, I don't
Cardinals
want to
fan.
hear your
Fuck.
voice ever again.
So-
He said you're a Cardinals fan.
Who? I'm a Lawndale Cardinals fan because I went there.
Kenny, you like the Ravens? Be quiet.
No,
Yeah,
I don't.
Ravens.
First off,
You
no,
know
I
he
don't.
likes the Ravens.
I
You know
picked
he
it
likes
one
the
time
Ravens.
in fantasy.
All right, Jordan.
No.
So
You know
before we
he
let you go,
No. It wasn't that you. No, it wasn't that.
I picked him one time.
for fantasy.
No, you
Against
picked
the
them.
Raiders.
Yeah, over the
Yeah, you
Raiders.
did.
Over the
The
Raiders.
Raiders
You did.
won the game.
I was there.
By
I
a
was there.
fluke. By
I'm
a
witness.
miracle.
I'm a witness. No LeBron. I'm a witness.
I'm a witness.
The Raiders won the game
By a
and they
fluke.
won. The Ravens.
By a fluke.
all right, Jordan. Hey,
What have they done since then?
hey, Jordan. Shout out your social channels.
They traded Khalil Mack. I'm
Went
done.
playoffs and
Shout out
broke-
your industry ties if you want. I don't know if you can reveal that or not, but
I don't even know if I can do that, so I'm not.
I feel like he can, but he doesn't.
But
I agree.
but
I'll reveal them. I'm just kidding.
I do work for a sports organization. You
Fox.
can know that.
Wow. This damn Tommy
Damn,
from
no,
Power.
I thought we were.
Why you
So
shooting
where-
Angela
where-
in the chest?
where can
Why
people
you shooting
find
Angela
you?
in the chest?
Where can
Tommy
people
from
find
Power
you?
is crazy.
He is though.
He was
John
supposed
Gruden
to
is
come.
Tommy.
He didn't show up, so I can expose.
Where can people find you at?
Nowhere because he at
You can
home.
find me on Twitter at Jordan P. Ball, and that's about it. I'm mostly on Twitter.
And
I
at
use
home.
whatever.
All right,
Talking
Jordan,
about,
man.
now
Crib.
talking about the Jets.
Hey,
No. All right, no. I wanted to ask you and Kenny one last thing, and I want to get both of yours because we're like midway through the season. Who are your 5 most impactful people in the NFL this season?
in terms of like
It could
winning,
be player, coach.
Player,
Doesn't
coach.
matter.
He asked me the same
Who are
question
your 5
today.
most impactful people?
He asked me the same question.
I'll go
today.
first.
Go.
Andrew Luck, Khalil Mack, Patrick Mahomes, Eric Reed.
No,
he changed the Panthers' defense. Their safeties have been trash forever, and now they're actually playing good. Christian McCaffrey.
Trash.
No, take that back.
That's
North
trash.
Turner.
That's trash picks.
You said North Turner.
He fixed their whole offense.
That's trash
He
picks.
fixed their whole offense, bro.
You didn't even pick
by the way, guess what?
What?
The Panthers are helping my fantasy team.
He didn't even pick Sean McVay, so that's not even a dream.
Aaron Donald, first off, is the Rams.
I'm gonna give you mine.
You said 5.
Khalil Mack, Drew Brees,
Big facts.
Fair.
Sean McVay.
Big facts.
Aaron Donald more than McVay. If you don't say Aaron Donald, you fake.
Nah, I'm
gonna say Aaron Donald, you fake, bro.
I'm gonna give John Gruden because he takes the Raiders.
Yes, that's super impactful.
And did I already say Khalil Mack? Khalil Mack. That's fine.
Thanos is your number 5.
No, John Gruden's a good pick because he turned 2 teams into playoff teams.
He really did. He literally did.
He turned one team into a rebuilding franchise.
Yeah, he literally did.
Like he was on the losing end of a drug deal, pretty much.
All right, that's 4. You got one more.
And let me see.
Thanos.
Andrew Luck. That's an easy one.
That's a good. That's
an easy
picks.
one.
I like that.
He stole my pick, by the way.
Okay.
I did steal that pick, honestly.
All right. At the end of the season, I want you guys to do your 5 most impactful at the end too.
All right, that's good. Hey, look at you! Look at you giving us your producer brain over here. That's what I'm talking about.
That's
what I'm talking about.
You do what you do. You do what you can do when you can do it.
Hey, man, but shout out to you, man. We love you too. Sundial Lineage once again chiming in, man. Keep doing what you do.
The greatest sports lineage ever. That was a hell of a semester for podcasts.
We got to get you in here so we can have PB and J.
I'm mad that you got to it first, but I'm glad you got to it. Because I said it first, but we all died in the newsroom. We're like, yo, we are PB and J. Oh, shit.
All right, y'all have fun.
All right, man. Thank you. Have a good night.
Too late. I'm already there. Thank you.
All right.
All right, man. That was Jordan P. Ball, our resident Jets, Ohio State.
Notice he didn't say shit about the Jets the whole time.
He didn't say shit about the Kings either.
He said nothing. By the way, Baylor's bowl eligible. Just want to let y'all know that.
But yeah, man. So if you're calling right now, you got 10 seconds before I get back to my damn story. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi.
My little sister gonna call in. Watch.
6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi.
Let me call in real
8
quick.
Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10.
The whole
All
time.
right. Where was I? Okay, so we walked into the good news. We walked in the good news radio station. We were like, we had already been approached by networks before, and they were kind of fake, phony, and we were like,
should we mention their names?
We don't know what this is gonna be. Like, are they going to try to steal our cloud? Like, are they going to try to change our name? Are they going to try to creatively control us?
Ride our wave.
Our content? And honestly, from the get-go, Keith, shout out to Keith again, who called in earlier, was like, yo, it's your show, sir. Bruh. Like, he constantly said that throughout our first meeting. It's your show, sir.
Dead ass.
I'm not trying to control your content. I just want to give you a space and a platform to really thrive. And honestly, for the most part, that's what it's been. You know, he's given us a great studio, a professional grade studio, a central location, a call line where we can have all these callers and our friends come in.
Central air.
Hey, don't sleep on the air in the bathroom, though. For real. And the occasional taco man who got rained out today. Hey, shout out to you, Primo's Tacos. Where you at?
You
let a little rain stop
Nature?
Yeah.
Shout out to Vince Staples.
Yeah. But anyways, man. So once we signed on to the Good News radio station, our show really just kind of took a new light. And I'm only saying that because I think both for the good and the bad, you know, from taking phone calls, which Nick already talked about how I hung up on him on the first try.
Shout out to Ryan saying Peaches basically said he'll do the day shift at Peaches for the bag. At Peaches, dog.
Better yet,
not even at Lemonade.
Wait, no, hold on. Let me get my slander off. Better yet, I'll just be a teacher.
Oh!
Work 9 months, make $80K.
Oh, that's actually pretty good. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, let me just do that. Let me go get my MA and be a teacher.
Get your teacher's credential. You need an MA.
Let me be an adjunct professor. You want an extension? I got you.
CSUN had your
You want an
life?
extension? Yeah. I'll be that professor that always shows up late.
What a
cancels
fan.
classes with 30 minutes notice. All that shit.
Just don't be Johnny Scott.
And I'm gonna have the Ryan Mancini's in my class. Hey, are you gonna collect this assignment you talked about? Just kidding, Mancini. You haven't said anything.
No, he literally shrugged because he does that.
That guy. I'd be like, what? Hey, what? I just worked on this for like 3 weeks. You don't want it?
Do I need to talk about your one journalism class with someone whose initials are HC?
But yeah, man. Anyways,
Man.
you're dry snitching again. But yeah,
No, he didn't even know what I was talking about. So.
man, that's the next drink. Hey,
Shut up. You just peed in
anytime
the dark.
KB dry snitches on
fade.
someone, you gotta take a drink.
Sorry,
I'll get quiet.
Sorry, I'm out.
KB 6ix9ine over here, the Fed.
First off, don't call me. First off,
KB 6ix9ine.
you listen to 6ix9ine before I ever did. How dare you? Pete is the fence. He just told you he'll
I
send
gotta
him.
go.
Anyways, so I think what he left out was after the good news, you know, we really kind of
Brandon's leaving. Aw.
really
Like legit leaving?
or he's getting drinks. But yeah, man. Anyways, like I was saying, you know, once we caught the good news, the show really just kind of took its own light in that we started experimenting with different things, different segments, trying to take call-ins, trying to get guests. You know, we had the whole Taylor Rooks fiasco where we basically had a great interview
Pete fucked up the
with
interview.
a real successful, influential female journalist, and
Now
we had
works
a
at
really
Bleacher
great
Report.
conversation, and none of it got recorded.
But she did say she didn't, like, in terms of Chicago versus New York pizza, we already settled that. And she said go to Harold's when you get to Chicago, which I will do one day.
And besides all that, you know, we brokered some new deals with X Squad affiliates. They welcomed us with the open arms. Shout out to Georgia folk,
Atlanta, the South.
New York, all of them over there. You know, we've had other networks try to recruit us. We've had, you know, we also got onto FBC Radio because we both write for FBC Raiders.
Shout out to the homie Terry.
Shout out to Terry. Shout out
whole
to
squad.
Ray. Shout
Ray
out
is
to Malik.
King Petty.
Bro, Ray is so funny. I don't
Malik-
think I've ever met anyone as funny as Ray. Like
the
Ray
meme-
said some shit.
the meme
and he has like
reactions
a good
are-
ass job, dude. Like
The greatest.
you be doing this in the corporate setting.
And shout out to Malik for honestly just being on point with his book and having all the knowledge of like go.
No, yeah, Malik is
DC
a great
go-go
dude.
knowledge.
Malik is a great dude.
His draft profiles are excellent.
His draft profiles, his HBCU knowledge, his Raider knowledge, like all that shit. Shout out to Malik. Shout out to Terry, man. We love you. Praying for you, man. And outside of that, it's pretty much just been a story, as everyone's talking about, of just perseverance between me picking up Kenny when he was getting out of class or getting off work and going to the room and cutting podcasts to really, and that's the biggest transition from here to the good news. Is before it was, you know, I'd pick up Kenny and we go to the room, we cut the podcast anytime between 8 and 10, anytime between Tuesday and Thursday. But ever since signing the good news, not only have we held down our Thursday spot, but Kenny has even held down his Thursday spot solo 3 times without me. And ever since then, like I've always, ever since that first solo shot that Kenny did, I realized that like this dude is really serious. And like, if you listen to his shows, like they're not our traditional set just because, you know, it's a different dynamic when it's him. But the fact that he still comes in here and holds it down, like I got tremendous respect for him. And outside of that, man, the Touchdowns and Tangents story is really unwritten. And whatever else
That's
happens,
a Natasha Bedingfield song.
whatever else happens from here, it's really going to be up to the listeners, the people that fuck with us, the 2 people who showed up for episode 100 and ate our snacks and sat down on the mic.
Take those
Shout out to
bananas,
Brandon
dog.
because he's leaving.
Actually, leave me one banana. Now I understand why he brought bananas.
Why are you leaving? Why
I'm not
You're like
leaving.
packing up.
It's like 15 minutes,
taking
dog.
pictures, dog. Like, are you leaving
gotta
or
get the
not?
group picking.
Yeah,
I'm
make
not
a decision. Sell out. Like, come
I was
on.
gonna go get another bottle.
Oh gosh.
So we can do that after the show.
Okay, post show.
But yeah, man, that's
the
pretty much my
rallies.
story, and ultimately, I think the biggest thing for me No, you know what? I'll say this from my rant. You want to get to the content? Well, we have like 15 minutes.
Yeah, we got. But honestly, I think you're selling yourself short, dog. Pete. Aside from the fact that like Pete has industry connections and shit, like I just have all these ideas for content that I just want to blitzkrieg and put in one spot. He helped me really structure a lot of shit, and he challenged me. Like he challenged me to kind of, you know, reach new levels.
He still does.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, Mancini.
And I challenge you too, fucker.
First off, you bullied Mancini the whole time.
And I still do.
Yeah, you're the little brother. You're getting bullied. Sorry. Am I the middle child? I'm older than you, so technically, Pete.
But this is why we tell you not to let other people in professional settings who we won't mention on this podcast due to your industry ties bully you.
Because we
prepared you for this.
We were in the trenches together at CSUN, and we know what that shit is like. We've been through a lot of stuff together. Mm-hmm. So I think that's why this just it works. Like, you can come on after we went to go see Black Panther, and that fucking dude from the guy who's playing Stokely Carmichael was in that one movie.
Black Klansman.
Yeah, Black Klansman. But what was the guy? He was in another movie.
Did you like that movie, Kenny?
I don't. They didn't really tell the true story of it. They kind of just.
Bro, they dramatized
it. And we already did it.
Yeah, you can.
You guys did.
We were arguing about that shit.
Yeah, don't start a tangent.
Well, to be fair, a better movie that also suffers from historical inaccuracies, but it's still a great movie.
Avengers
is
Infinity War.
What
a fantasy.
R.I.P.
Bohemian Rhapsody. If you guys haven't seen
that was the greatest biopic of all time, by far.
I would say second to Frida.
I haven't seen Frida, but
Frida's great.
Salma Hayek can get it every day of the week. If Salma Hayek was 80, I'm still busting it down.
Facts.
No rubber. I don't care what you got.
I got a girl of facts.
Yeah, man.
No girl would get Salma Hayek. Like, come on, man. I saw her on Punk'd and I fell in love.
That's facts.
But yeah, man.
Remember she was on. Oh man.
On that same note, I can honestly say, like, I've leveraged a lot of shit being on this podcast, coming here every week, and I don't regret it, and I'll do it over again because I believe in Kenny, I believe in this shit, and we're gonna pop off. So answer the fucking call. Touchdowns and Tangents.
Where are you? Where you calling
what
from?
Up?
You beautiful soul.
What up? This is Woo from Eastville.
What's good, Woo?
Hey.
Woo.
Hey.
Woo was actually supposed to be here, but he wasn't going to drive 60 miles in the rain, and I don't blame him.
For cookies, bananas, liquor, and, our savagery.
Yeah, man, wish I could be there. This rain was crazy, but I just wanted to call in and say congratulations on your 100th episode, guys.
Thank you.
You guys are an example of hard work paying off, and if you want to do something, you just got to put in the work, and it'll come. So congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Hey, man, so what I was going to say is we were going to talk about the Cowboys. We haven't got to it.
Y'all eating up all these fucking cookies, and I'm just saying, it was like 87 of them, and I only had 3.
Kenny,
y'all getting mad at me. Fuck y'all. No, don't pick on the fat guy.
Wait,
hold on. Y'all eating up all the goddamn cookies.
First of all, I'm the same size as you, so you can't play the fat guy
I'll let y'all know when Kenny is.
He finally admitted it. I finally got it.
It's only because
he's the same size.
It's only because I ballooned like 20 pounds, but anyways, woo.
I just wanted him to admit it on air. It's on wax now.
Woo.
Oh, shit.
We were going to talk about the Cowboys. We haven't got to it. So let me ask you this. Are the Cowboys an elite team?
If they play like this every week, yeah.
Wow, that was the most cop-out, sissy answer. Yes or no?
No.
Or no.
They're 3-1 since they got Amari Cooper. They have a new offense. Zeke is running with a new sense of inspiration.
Entitlement.
Are the Cowboys?
I don't want to have to boo you, Woo, but I'm gonna have to boo the Woo this time.
I'll say this. I'd say the defense is elite. They're for real. The offense, I still have my worries. I think this game shouldn't have been as close as it was. There's some bad play calls. That Dak needs to get some ball security. He can't be fumbling 2 times in a game and expect the defense to bail him out every time. But if the offense can get better, then all around there will be a elite team. But right now, I would say the defense is elite, but the offense is not.
Hey, the defense did hold the Saints to like 10
First
points.
off,
dog.
the Saints went 10-1 and were on a 10-game winning streak. Like,
And got held to 10 points.
They were
against the
eventually going to
Cowboys.
lose.
Yeah.
You know that, right? They were eventually going to lose.
That's
The defense is
what
not
I'm saying. The
elite.
defense,
And they
the
just-
defense is elite.
They just
The
stopped.
defense is good
It's
enough
not.
to compete, but they're not elite.
They're
Their
not
safeties
elite.
are still
They're not
trash.
elite.
I'll hawk their strong safety.
You don't think the defense is elite? I mean, look at the
Drew Brees
stats.
threw that dude
Okay,
last
they have
week.
elite
what, top
players.
five?
Communication.
They have fast linebackers. They have a young athletic defense, which covers up some things. They
They're-
have the best defensive
They're
line
playing
coach
better.
in the NFL.
They're playing better than the Rams defense that has.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, they are.
I'm going to hang
Is
up
Their
on
They
record,
are.
is their record better than the Rams?
Aaron Donald's
By
better
2
than everyone in
games?
No,
the
but
Cowboys
if
organization.
we're comparing defenses, I would say our linebackers are better. Our secondary is about the same.
That D-line's
and I would
not
say
better.
Marshawn
our
Lattimore
D-line
is an
better than the
all-pro
Rams.
corner.
That
I would say the
D-line's
D-line's
not
better.
even compete.
Marshawn Lattimore's an all-pro
We're
corner.
not talking about the Saints. We're talking about the Rams.
No, but
and
he's
Cowboys.
okay. But
Rams
well,
versus Cowboys.
Yeah, drunk ass
defense.
Kenny.
shut the fuck up, right?
Move,
why you
move
can't be
Kenny
in
real
right?
quick, because he don't even know what we're talking about.
But yeah,
I
so
low-key did for like 30 seconds.
So even in your scenario where the Cowboys do have this elite defense and they have a young offense that plays well,
They're going to win the NFC East.
how
Yeah.
can I be sure that they aren't going to Cowboys and lose in the first round of the playoffs, even if they make it to the playoffs?
He's like, let me get.
Let me think about this.
He was like, let me get my bullshit together.
Yeah.
Let me get my
Yeah,
talking points together. I knew you'd say that.
I don't know who would they play right now if it ended today.
In the wild card, Seattle.
The
Seattle.
Redskins.
Nah, hell no. The
No,
Redskins are
Seattle's
making
in the
playoffs.
hunt. Seattle's in the hunt right now.
Yeah, but Seattle's not going to win their
I
division.
know the Vikings are in.
Well, they're
Nah, not
7-6,
necessarily.
so it looks like the Rams
Cowboys
and the
have
Bears
the Eagles,
have a bye.
The Eagles next week.
Seattle could
that might
beat
be
them.
an
No, the
L.
Rams and the Saints have a bye.
They have the Colts. You know, Andrew Luck been playing his.
So
ass
it'll
off.
be. So it looks like they're the 4 seed right now.
They're-
So
the Saints already
they
had their
would
bye.
They play the
play.
Rams.
They would play either the
Rams.
Redskins. No, they'll be
The
the 4 seed.
Redskins
The fourth
already
seed.
played
Oh, yeah,
them,
okay.
bro.
So
They're
they'll
not
play-
making the playoffs.
So they'll play either the Redskins
Stop saying.
or the
Well, it
Seahawks
depends
They're playing the
or the
Seahawks and the-
Vikings.
The wild
Bro,
card.
the Redskins
Or the Panthers.
lost 3/5 of their offensive line and their quarterback. They're
Yeah.
not
Okay,
making
so
the
they'll
playoffs.
pretty much
Redskins
play
not
the
making the playoffs.
Panthers or the Vikings or the Seahawks.
The Panthers and
That's
the
an
Seahawks.
L either way. I feel like.
Yeah.
I like those. The only matchup that kind of worries me is the Seahawks, just because I feel like they've had our numbers in the past.
Not
Tony
the-
Romo,
not the
that
Vikings.
fumble,
Not
that
the
fumble hold.
Vikings.
Yeah, man. I'm having like flashbacks right now. I remember
PTSD.
that game. Almost broke my TV that day, dude.
little 9-year-old.
You cried in the
man.
car, didn't you? You cried.
That was not okay.
But the Panthers
but
are.
I don't know. I like our chances against the Vikings. I mean, we're familiar with Kirk Cousins. I mean, the offense is clicking, defense is good, but I think we can put up points against them. The Panthers, I don't know, man.
Well,
I mean,
mix
Cam's
y'all.
good, but that defense is not what it was at the beginning of the year. I mean, they've given up some points the last couple. I had them on fantasy last week. Shout out to KB. I appreciate.
Everybody
the fantasy
drink
call out
right
sometimes.
now. Everybody drink right goddamn now.
Hey, I like the shout out because that means we drink.
Thank you, Woo. Thank you, Woo. You're a real one. Look at my
No,
team.
but I can't. They need to get a win because I'm tired of everybody hating.
I don't think y'all
that
want to play the
one and
Panthers,
done.
man. I don't think y'all
Most
want the
hated
Panthers.
franchise in the NFL.
No, it's the
Oh,
Patriots, but for
gosh.
political reasons. See,
All right,
now
man.
you're playing victim.
Yeah, now you're playing victim. All right, man.
First off, the Panthers,
we know Cowboys
you
not
have no
winning the
answers
Super
for the
Bowl, though.
Panthers.
We know Cowboys
Christian
not winning the Super
McCaffrey
Bowl.
can do everything to your
All right,
defense.
Kenny, this isn't the Kenneth and Barry call in and debate with me, Stephen A. Smith show.
Shut up,
Shut
Will
the fuck
Kane.
up,
Shut up,
drunk
Will
ass.
Kane.
All right, man. Woo, thanks for calling in. We appreciate you. We love you.
But woo,
Yeah,
do
yeah.
you like the Amari Cooper trade?
Of course he does.
Does he? No.
Yeah.
Do you
Oh,
like
yeah.
giving up a first
Yeah,
round
no, he
pick
liked
for
it.
Amari Cooper?
I sold
How you
him.
feel
I
about
sold him
Fre-
on it.
How you feel about Frederick?
Yeah, Pete. Yeah, me and Pete talked about it.
Wow.
Like the day it happened, I hit him up, and
You were happy?
at first I was like, "Man, that's a lot."
We're definitely going
but,
over 10 o'clock.
You know,
Fuck
we'll
this.
see. And Pete sold me on it. I'm not even gonna lie, he did.
He sold?
He's changed their
See,
whole
Pete
entire
likes
offense.
Amari. I don't like Amari as much, though.
Because Amari is a fucking. All right, here we go.
He's a complete receiver.
Amari Cooper is a fucking football player, bro.
He is.
Besides his elite route running, which is second to nobody, he's an elite blocker.
He stopped on a dime and scored an 80-yard touchdown against the Redskins.
His hands are stone.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
His hands can be stone.
They're not stone.
They can be
but they're
stone.
not
When he's
Odell
not
either.
focused.
They're not
He
Odell
he
either.
overfocuses, and that sometimes causes paralysis by analysis.
No, but he does not have hands like that either. Don't
Bro,
act like he
did
has
you watch
elite
Matt
hands.
Alabama? Okay, he doesn't have to have elite hands, but he has elite.
He gets open.
He gets open. That's
He
the
does
point.
get
He's
open.
elite at
He
getting
gets
open.
open, and you have to roll the
Did you
coverage
see?
to him.
By the way, Josh Norman is the punk ass bitch.
If he had Aaron Rodgers, somebody like that, he would be crazy. but he has Dak Prescott.
One of the first questions
He got open and had an 80-yard touchdown run.
Bro.
One of the first questions I had when they made that trade was, what's this draft class look like? Are there receivers?
That's true.
And it doesn't really seem like there is.
That's good.
We need a receiver today.
Harry.
That's a good point.
We got one.
We kill Harry at Arizona State.
And that's pretty much what Amari Cooper said this week, since, we're in the content part of it. But, yeah, that's what he said this week is, when the Raiders traded me, they're pretty much saying that they think they can get a better player than me in the first round, which, he took as disrespect, and he's playing with a chip on his shoulder. Personally, I don't blame him because, honestly, he never really was utilized right. He came into the league as the Raiders' number 2 receiver under Crabtree, and this year he was supposed to be number 1, and here we are throwing the ball to punk-ass Jordy Nelson 10 times a game and 31-year-old Jared Cook.
And Seth Roberts on third
Is he
down.
worth the max contract, though? I don't think so.
No, in the right.
his agent is the same as Khalil
Joe
Mack.
Siegel. If you put Amari Cooper on the Patriots, they're undefeated. If you put Amari Cooper on the Steelers, he's better than Antonio Brown.
No,
Ooh, I
no,
wouldn't say
fuck
that.
no.
Production-wise?
I'll use
Production-wise.
that.
Production-wise.
I'll use
Oh,
that.
really?
I'll use
Really?
that
Oh, really?
I
Oh,
wouldn't
really?
go that far, bro.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah, that's
Antonio
great.
Brown is what.
Reaching.
Kill yourself.
you're reaching
with that.
Nah.
You're reaching with that.
You
Okay.
are, bro.
Bro, I'm about to leave.
He's
I'm
the
about to
elite.
leave.
He's the elite.
You pretty much said better than Blue Moon right now.
Get the fuck out of
That's
here.
what you just said, bro.
No, I
You
didn't.
just said Bud Light was better than Blue Moon,
Dog,
bro.
if you give Big Ben,
fuck outta here.
if you give Big Ben a guy like Amari Cooper,
No.
he's gonna throw him the ball 100 times.
No.
Yeah.
The same way he does
Okay,
Antonio
Yeah,
Brown.
and if you give me Bud Light on Happy Hour, I might be happy about it.
That's disgusting.
But it's still
That's
not
piss
Blue
water.
Moon.
That's piss
It's
water.
still not
I'm about to
Blue
go
Moon.
piss something better tasting than that.
No.
But all right, Woo, thank you for calling in, man.
Don't act like
that's gonna be on.
Amari Cooper's a high value great receiver. Let's be honest. He's one of those guys who put it, is he Torrey Holt?
All right, guys. Hey, keep up the good work, man. Keep doing your guys' thing.
Thank you. Thank
Appreciate
you
that.
so
We
much.
gotta get you in here again soon.
All right. Yeah, for sure.
Y'all gotta stop sleeping on Amari
All right.
Cooper.
Go Cowboys. Go Irish.
Hey,
Fuck
I'm
no,
fucking with that. Hey, go
you
Notre
can't
Dame.
leave
I
on
like
that.
that.
No.
I
I'm
like
hanging up
that.
on
You
you.
can't.
I like that. I like
gotta
that.
hang up on you.
I like that. I like that.
Ian Book
Go
is nice
Notre
though.
Dame. Go
Ian
Notre
Book
Dame.
made
Nah.
Isaiah Langley look like a bitch.
Go Notre Dame.
How
We
you
going.
not, as a corner, how you not get low and tackle that guy through his head?
All right, so real quick,
We're
man.
undefeated though. We're undefeated.
Real quick.
Y'all gonna get Manti Te'o
Yeah, we gon'
in the playoffs by Clemson.
Shut your ass up.
Real quick,
Clemson
man.
gonna run a train on y'all defense.
On the backup QB, yeah. That started
All
the
right,
season.
man.
Backup QB.
Real quick. We're going to go rapid fire. Make it quick. I'm going to give you a topic. You give some shit on it.
I'm
All
glad
right.
that you dabbed.
Give a take or a tangent on it. It's pretty simple. All right. Reuben Foster signing with the Redskins.
Here's the thing, man. It's amazing.
He
that
said
I-
rapid.
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
bro, come
It's
on.
amazing that I'm drunk and I'm really articulate.
One
Man,
tweet. Just think about it as a tweet.
Okay, I get it. Shut up. So first off, the NFL actually put him on the exempt list, so he can't play or practice. So there goes that. The Washington Deadskins have proved plenty of times. They signed Junior Gillette, who had domestic violence issues. So I'm not surprised. They gave Albert Hainsworth a bunch of money.
Okay, you're at like 360 characters.
So no, I'm not. This is a meme. this is a sharing of a retweet.
This is one of your
with
Instagram
comments.
captions.
Oh, fuck you. They get traction, though. Hey, Ryan Perkins, call
Brandon,
in.
you got to
Call
take her
in-
tangent?
Call in and fillet a fish.
I like the move.
Pete.
I like the move.
All right.
He's not going to play. He's on the exempt list.
Okay,
All right.
when he does play, he's going to be
He's
effective.
never going to play again.
He's going to.
All right.
They said the same
All
thing about
right.
Aldon Smith. He
All
played,
right.
though.
Baker Mayfield says
Hoe ass nigga.
He didn't shake Hugh Jackson's hand, and he didn't feel sorry about it.
Good move.
You got to take her tangent on it.
Here's my tangent that's kind of a take. First off, yo punk ass transfers from Texas Tech to Oklahoma when you didn't have to stay in the Big 12. You could have went to fucking Toledo.
Do you know what happened behind the scenes? You don't.
No, he's a walk-on. He didn't have a scholarship. He could have went anywhere but Big 12 schools.
In Cleveland, do you know what happened behind the scenes? No, you don't.
No, I know what happened because the same thing happened in Oakland. He thought Hugh Jackson had power. He did things his way. People weren't agreeing with it. No. He probably agreed more with Todd Haley, but they wouldn't let Baker Mayfield. They wouldn't unleash him. I think he should have been the starter. They should have traded Tyrod Taylor for something tangible, and it would have been dope. But they didn't. And you ain't never heard Tyrod.
College mindset.
You haven't heard. Yeah.
Every team in your division is a super rival.
Bro, some of the cats that played on the Browns played for other teams.
Well, exactly. Baker doesn't have that pro football mindset yet.
He does, yeah, but I like his moxie.
But I do like it though.
But
all right. This isn't a whole conversation.
I think the media's sucking his nuts too much, but there.
Kenny said moxie.
He's just double. He's
fantasy.
Wow, that's a drink.
KB,
Pete,
I'm out. But KB has already put his whole entire reputation on Baker Mayfield by saying that he was going to be an absolute bust this draft.
He's not going to be
I did, but I apologized.
You
same way I apologized about Joey Bosa.
Still.
I came clean, and I was
you know what? You did.
Him and Nick Chubb were a thing.
You did.
Maybe Hugh Jackson can get you talent, but he can't coach it. That's fucked up.
That's true.
That's like that girl that gets you better as a person, but you know you're not going to marry her or stay with her.
Okay, you're triggering me now. All right.
He's
Damn.
Okay.
Damn.
So Leonard Fournette.
Go 3 hours?
Leonard Fournette got me 20 points and then got ejected for fighting in the fourth quarter.
I love the fade.
I wasn't a fan.
Was that a fantasy? That's fantasy football, by the way.
Now he's suspended.
You have to drink.
Now he's suspended.
You have to drink.
That is.
Now he's suspended for another game. Can you grab me one, sir, please?
You should be.
But yeah, so he's suspended for another game. He appealed it. The suspension was upheld. You got to take our attention on that.
He knew damn well he was getting suspended. He ran off the sideline to go fight Shaq Lawson. Like, he knew. And TJ Yeldon's probably going to do good in fantasy. But the Jaguars have a bigger problem. Nathaniel Hackett got fired. And somebody called him a good Chris Collinsworth called him a great offensive coordinator. Man, it must be nice to be a white offensive coordinator who just has great skill players and you just call dumb shit.
Brandon?
Fuck Nathaniel Hackett. He was trash at USC. Like, bro, don't say he was a good offensive coordinator.
All right, Brandon. Thoughts? Take her tangent on it.
Get the fuck out of here.
You got to take her tangent on Leonard Fournette.
I'm tired of the
being
Jaguars.
Suspended still.
They suck.
I mean, I like it. I like the fade.
I love the fade.
So you're cool with him sitting out another game after he already missed like half the damn season?
Because they're not gonna miss. They're not gonna make playoffs, obviously.
Well, now they're definitely not going to make playoffs because they're about to take another L to the
exactly. But for the fantasy football owners, it might be a negative.
That's a drink.
It might be a negative. So I'll take a drink to that.
I'm definitely one of those.
And the last one I want to bring up because we've been big on the Lamar Jackson watch.
Lamar Jackson
since last year. Lamar Jackson beat the Raiders last week.
I gotta pee.
And now he is going to be starting again. So you got to take our attention on that.
He should be the long-term starter. I know Joe Flacco came back.
Agree.
But he should be the starter, straight up.
I agree.
My tangent on this is I was watching the game and pretty much
Michael Vick's record.
That first half,
rushing, yeah.
That first half, Lamar Jackson was trying to be a quarterback. He was trying to be like, oh, I don't need to run. Like he was trying to sit back in the pocket and throw, and he was doing all right. But it wasn't until the second half when the Ravens started pulling away, and he stopped thinking, and he just started having fun. And you could see it. He was having fun. He was making plays and doing what he does, being a dual threat. So as long as he does that,
he should have won a Heisman. Baker Mayfield stole his Heisman.
Beats himself and stop trying to play into the whole I'm a QB narrative. Bro, just be yourself. You can be both. Like, that's it.
Exactly.
All right, man. So that's it. Let's close out the show, man. Mancini, we haven't heard a lot from you, so you know how it goes. You've been here before. Yep. This is your 1-minute rant. Say what you got to say. Get what you got to get off your chest. Any words of inspiration, thoughts?
I'm going to go take a piss.
Prayers, whatever.
I appreciate it.
He's like, finally.
Wow, I'm drunk as fuck.
What's that echo?
That was KB hitting the table.
Big ass cookies.
Nigga, there's 87 cookies left. Be quiet.
There's only 6, but it started with 24.
86 cookies.
All right, man. Go ahead. This is your floor.
It's my floor. Well, happy to be here. Man, 100 episodes for you guys now.
Yep.
Wow. It's awesome. It's great. I mean, as somebody who had a podcast with Kenny back when we were at CSUN, it's kind of weird seeing you guys move as far ahead as 100 episodes. I think we only got to like 12. So, but that was more for other reasons that I won't go into.
You already got into them, but go ahead.
Okay. I'm looking forward to that on my drives covering stories this weekend. Yeah, I mean, let me ask you, what's it like for you to be at 100 episodes?
I guess for me, just speaking from my perspective, it's really just a start, you know? Like, I can't say that I ever envisioned being here, but I can't ever say that I didn't think I would be here either. So, pretty much the way I look at it is it's just a matter of, you know, trying to get better every single day, trying to learn more. You know, I'm the type of person that's always trying to learn more, trying to advance. So, I try to apply that to this podcast. And honestly, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here without Kenny. So shout out to him. That's it. He was just asked. He just asked us how we feel being at 100 episodes.
I'm about to say, like, damn, man, Zany, I hope you weren't done yet. Man, honestly, I make $17 an hour at one of my jobs, washing dishes, helping out in the kitchen.
You need to stop flexing on that $17, bro.
17, that's nothing.
Yeah, stop.
I know.
Broke ass.
Shut your punk ass up.
Broke boy. Broke boy.
I probably got a better credit score than at least one person at this table.
Not me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll say that for my rant. I'll say that for my rant.
Bottom line is, I'm just saying, like, I bust my ass on all these side jobs and all these different jobs I've had, everything I do, because honestly, I feel like I'd rather sacrifice for the long haul, for what this program is. Like I said, like I wanted to have like Londo's head coach on. I wanted to interview, you know, Pete's friends who, when they said pull up, and they pulled up, and they have their own business. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Wake and Bake. I will be there sometime next week.
Shout out to my boy Justin Rayside Barbados and Brian Williams.
I think I saw he's in East Atlanta right now. He's back home, Brian.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Brian, man.
And it's like, bro, you really gotta go for your dreams.
Facts.
And honestly,
shout out to JD too. Shout out to JD. Shout out to Vince. Shout out to Julius. Shout out to everyone who fuck with us.
Yep, and whoever don't fuck
shout
with me.
Shout out to Derek. Shout out to Jacob.
Fuck you.
Whoever don't.
Shout out to Barry's sister.
Shout out to my little sister, my older sister.
Shout out to Ryan.
Shout out to Ryan.
Daisy.
You didn't call up.
Shout out to the whole Good News
even
radio
though, like,
station.
Ryan was flaming you in the chat room. She was flaming you in the chat room, Pete.
She always flames me in the chat room.
Yeah, that's because y'all from the same fucking place. And you grew up, like, literally right next to each other. You never knew it. But anyway, to answer your question, Ryan, Mantini, I just always felt like, even at the sundown, y'all knew this, like, bro, no one's going to stop me from creating. And I'm going to tell the truth. Because that's just what needs to be told. Like, if you don't like that it came out of my mouth, but did you get the message? Like, I that's what I always strive for. Like, if I'm wrong, then let's have dialogue and figure it out. But let's talk about the stuff that's going on. And with this podcast, we talk about a lot of stuff. Like, we talk about politics on football teams. We talk about sports. When we were at the pool party a while back, I had a young lady come up to me.
Bro, Mancini doesn't even watch sports and he listens to us.
I'm saying, because I feel like we're not just talking about sports. We talking about real life shit that we going through and the world within sports and how it's all interconnected.
So let me ask you this, and I asked Brandon this at the top of the show. Okay. Why do you listen to our show?
I'm emotionally
and
drunk right now.
What made you pull up today?
Well, I'll
out of all the places you could be, why would you be here today?
KB was about to say something.
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
I'm fucked up.
No, what brought me here was just knowing that this is a huge milestone for you guys. This is something that, you know, back when I was at the Sundial with both of you, whether it was starting out with you, Pete, or working there with Kenny and also being his roommate, and vice versa.
The best roommate you ever had.
Pretty much, yeah. And
facts.
It's
fuck 12.
Never back then would I have ever thought. Back then, I never would have thought you guys would be at where you're at today with a show like this. And I think overall, it's fascinating and it's amazing to see it. Just because, let's face it, back when we were all at CSUN, or rather, back when two of us were still at CSUN, it was kind of like we never really knew.
Unnecessary kicking the ball.
We never really knew what the next couple of years had to bring. I mean, you know, when you and I were there.
That's a good point.
When you and I were there, Kenny, it was like at one point you had to go.
We were in the shit, man.
You know,
wait till my rant.
We were both, you know, done with the sundial at that point.
The fun dial, as I called it.
I had moved on to other things. You know, I was with my girlfriend at the time, so it was kind of.
By the way, I helped you find your future wife. So
are you still with her?
I hooked up I helped my friends hook up like 7 people that they know.
Oh,
so y'all gotta mention me.
I remember that night. I remember that night like it was yesterday.
I remember too. I put
all right, well, we don't need to get to all that.
I put off the greatest goddamn.
Either way, to
Brandon,
wrap
up.
All
right. Let him finish this point so we can move on and get out of here because I gotta get home before I get my ass whooped.
The greatest.
But we all know I gotta get home before I get my ass whooped.
Overall, I'm
Pete,
amazed.
You're on a leash,
but actually,
and a chain.
To answer the question about why I even listen to the show, the largest reason is because it's a way of checking in on you guys and seeing what's going on. You know. I grew up with you guys, you know, I love you guys, and hearing you guys, you know, rip each other apart every, you know, Friday and Saturday is like the highlight of my week, you know.
What's up, man? We appreciate you.
That.
I mean, and regardless if, you know, it winds up always just being about football or it goes into a different subject, it still doesn't really matter just because
that's
you
real
guys
love. That's real love.
Really, Ryan? You don't rip him for that comment, but you rip me?
She ripped me for Bill Cosby when she low-key supported Bill Cosby when
that's,
he first went down.
That's a dope-ass comment.
But y'all, like,
that's
why
real love.
Ryan Mancini is one of my favorite human beings, and there's always a saying that goes, Pete was like, you know, you're the black man, you're the black Ryan, and he's the white Kenneth. And it's true.
I've said that before.
That's real love.
That was the day. Well, that was the thing. Was before we formally met. Before we formally met, we had it was a photojournalism class, and I knew you were in there.
Crayons. We had like 87. We had like 120 people in that class, and I knew all of them.
Yeah.
One of the dudes went to my high school. Shout out to Brian.
Nobody cares about you. Let him talk.
The whole sundial staff.
This is why you're not a Mike, bro. Right here. I'm glad we're showing this. I'm glad we're showing this on number 100. This is why you're not a Mike, bro.
That's why you.
This is why you're the talent and I'm the producer, bro.
I'm a producer too, jackass.
Damn.
You were.
I am.
But anyway,
PR major.
Damn.
I'm
not a PR major. I'm a general studies major, bitch.
Damn.
All right, go ahead. Let him finish his comment.
I just took a PR practicum.
Trying to remember my point. Yeah, I mean, we met before even. We met even before that day in the sundial where.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people gave you shit for being young and really intelligent, and I was like, he's one of the realest niggas in here. And they were like, "What'd you just say?" I was like, "You heard what I said." He's one of the realest people in here, and
the weird thing,
unlike you other weak ass assholes.
The weird thing
some
was
of y'all
when
ain't
I
doing
went
shit
back.
in their lives right now.
The weird thing is that when I went back. For my last year, I was one of the older people there, and it was still the same thing.
Nostalgia.
So, you know, but overall, it's listening to you guys. I mean, let's face it. You know, being out of school, you still want to keep up with people, regardless. You know, it doesn't matter. Like, you know, I was in a fraternity. I still try and catch up with people, but you know, at the end of the day, it's also everyone that I knew in the journalism department, and everyone's either all around the country or. You know, there's the handful of people that
who are still struggling and an enemy because you don't want
anonymous.
Bro, your mic is supposed to be muted, so stop talking. Let him talk. All of our mics are supposed to be muted.
I'm like losing track here.
Yeah,
let's start this episode.
This is his floor. Shit. This is why you're not a mic. Fuck.
Like, I'm drunk and Pete's still trying to talk.
Because it's like, seriously, bro, shut the fuck up. Let him talk. It's his floor.
I go for it though. Seriously.
Well, long story short, you guys are still in SoCal, and of all the people in our department, you were the guys that I was pretty damn close to. So, you know, Andrew's already off on the East Coast, but there's still the two of you guys still here, you know. And all the stuff that Kenny and I had to go through, that wonderful third year of mine at CSUN, it was kind of like... Exactly. So, yeah, it's getting to catch up with you guys, even not knowing what the heck my future entails. I mean, I could be in a different part of the country by next year, for all I know. And getting to spend this moment with you,
I'll retweet you.
It's great.
I'll retweet the shit out of it. I'll make a day of it. You know.
All right.
I did
all
tweet
right,
today, and you didn't retweet. So.
All right, Brandon, it's your turn.
I was
now.
at work, bro.
Actually, mute the fucking mics, moderator.
Nah, this is
All
an
right,
open
all right.
forum.
No,
Where's
it's
the button?
not. This is not an open forum. This is
Pete,
not an open forum.
Pete,
This
which
is the
button is
rant
it?
of the fucking show. Holy fuck.
Thank you.
I just muted Pete's mic. Eat a dick, Pete.
Yeah, I hear him. I hear him though. I mean, I already went in the beginning, but I guess I'll run it back.
Just say whatever you want to say. I can't hear you, Pete.
You know,
Pete, they can't hear you. Shut the fuck up.
you know, go Raiders, go touchdowns and tangents. You know, you are now listening to touchdowns and tangents on the good news.
He's on a better drop than that. Come on.
You know, all right.
We believe in the drop.
You are now listening to touchdowns and tangents on the Good News radio station.
There we go.
That's my drop. Save that. Yes, sir. No, you know, congratulations on the 100th episode, of course. And man, the milestone it's extravagant, man. 100 episodes. Think about that. That's 100 weeks. That's 2 years, man. That's 2 years. That's a lot of time, but that's longer than my relationship. Shit. So, man, when you think about that, it's like, damn, that's longer than some marriages. Y'all got something real going over here. So, congratulations to that, man. Congratulations on y'all brotherhood. Honestly, sticking to each other this close, being this consistent. That's unheard of, man. Honestly, and I'm just glad to be a part of it for the 100th episode. I feel grateful, man, and thank you guys for having me.
And thank you for killing our bottle.
Of course, man. Of course, me and Kenny killed the bottle. You know, bodied that real quick. If you guys want another one, you know, I got it. You know, it's nothing. Jameson and Sprite, I got you, man. Right now. After we end it.
All right, man. You want to go first or me?
Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, go_BMac. Yes. Shout out to Ryan Mancini as well.
And you can find me at Mancini RA on Twitter.
Yes, sir. And we all went to CSUN, by the way. I did too.
Yep.
What's CSUN?
CSUN fucked up all of our lives.
CSUN ruined our fucking lives. CSUN's still ruining my life.
CSUN should be on everyone's
CSUN
bucket list.
Shout out to fist up my ass.
Shout out to my boy JJ. We found the bottom, bro.
At Barney
Hey,
Beanery.
shout out to Ugly Ass C's and the Raiders family. Hey, shout out to Barry in Virginia. Shout out to all my homies, man. I fuck with y'all. Shout out to
DMV.
Shout out to my marketing people, George, Omar. Fuck with y'all.
Shout out
These
to
are
Deji.
kids.
Shout out to
Shout out to
Ryan,
JD.
who just won't call in because she don't want smoke with Pete. This is 100th episode. I mean, if you're not gonna call in.
hurry up.
But anyway,
talk your shit. Finally.
I don't know why you yelled off the mic. I unmuted everyone's mic. This is the family here.
No, it's not.
We
Mute the
speak
mic.
freely here.
We have a fucking forum. This is why I don't let you be a mic, bro. Hurry up.
But who's having more fun right now?
Bro, we're already over 15 minutes. Come on.
I don't give a flying fuck.
I do.
Okay, fair enough. Pete's girlfriend, I'm sorry. This is my fault. You can put this one on me. But yeah. I just want to say, man, I set out with a goal a long time ago because I really took it to heart. Comfort the afflicted, afflict the comfortable. One of the laws of journalism, unwritten. And I really felt that way because of shit I've been through, things I overcame, being from East Oakland, living out here in L.A.,
Yeah, area.
town business. You already know. And
Saturday.
just from being like, I came up, went to a JUCO, even in middle school, like I was literally working on the school paper, coming up with stories. Like when the whole Malice at the Palace shit broke out, bro, I was writing stories and doing newsletters in middle school, and didn't realize in high school like that shit was my passion, and I got away from it. But I played football and I took that, and then got injured. What'd you just say? Nothing. Pete, I'm gonna fuck you up. I swear to God, dog. I'm gonna finish the drink and beat your ass.
When's your last byline?
A couple of weeks ago, actually.
Weeks. Writers write every day, but go ahead.
I write creators create every day.
Go ahead.
I just write. I don't publish it, but I create every day.
This is why my mic should be muted right now, but
that's true. But then we would lose our content, and this would be people.
Hurry the fuck up!
It's funnier this way, but you keep cutting me off. I'm having a real moment right now. But honestly, yeah, man. Like I came to a point, especially all that sundial shit and me getting wrongfully blackballed and getting treated like shit by the department chair, the punk ass publisher, the punk ass editor in chief. Yeah,
this is why I can't have a podcast with you, bro.
That's true, though.
Yeah, this is why I can't have a podcast.
No, fuck that. I legally proved, I was right.
Legally, Kenny should be rich right now.
Like, legally proved I was right. They colluded against me. They literally, like, bro, I've gone through shit, and I've let it go, and I haven't even talked about it to this day. It's people, when I got reports
I'm going to delete this part off the podcast.
Okay, that's cool, fine, but I'm going to still say it because it's my truth. I don't give a fuck, even if I wasn't drunk. And that's just, you can feel like you want to, but you didn't get blackballed by that school. I did. And I worked my ass off to this point to where we have this platform, and I did it without their fucking help. I did it without anybody giving me a leg up, because ain't nobody ever gave me a fucking leg up.
But you ain't come this far to come this far, so shut the fuck
exactly.
up.
I like that, though.
Real nigga shit, because there's plenty of people who still
real shit, you ain't made it yet, so relax.
I don't give a fuck. Okay, that's fine. I'm 26. Who makes it at 26 who isn't a fucking rapper or a drug dealer?
Or an athlete.
Or a fucking trust fund baby. So I'm cool with that. I play the long game. Because I can bet on myself, but there's plenty of people out here.
I like what you're talking about. I like what you're talking about right now.
Thank you. There's plenty of people out here who graduated, but they ain't doing better than me.
They ain't doing shit, though.
They ain't doing a goddamn thing.
Yep, exactly.
They're just as broke as I am, probably a worse credit score, and know way more in student loan debt.
Bro, fuck your credit score.
You're talking about facts right now.
God damn.
No, I like it.
I like that Pete's giving me this pushback, but honestly,
I like it,
real
though.
nigga shit, because when I'm at graduation talking my shit, ain't nobody going to tell me nothing. Because I worked my ass off to this point. I put in hours. Yep. I've literally paid the cost.
You've done more than people that have graduated have done.
Even the first year and a half, hell, dog. There's black organizations that turn their fucking back on me.
All right, man. Hurry the fuck up.
Nah, be quiet. Shut the fuck up. No, I'm muting your mic, Pete.
Hurry the fuck up.
There. I muted Pete's mic. So I just want to say this, because this shit means a lot to me, and it's like I can't imagine not doing this podcast, this broadcast with Pete every week. Whether we disagree, whether we're about to fight in the parking lot, whatever.
Best friends.
Brothers. Because real shit, like, Pete helps balance me out. And I will say that. And sometimes Pete got to get called out on his bullshit. And sometimes I got to let people know, like, yeah, I know what you did.
Stop, friend. You got to get called on your bullshit, too.
Yeah, Pete sometimes does that on the group chat sometimes.
Oh, yeah. And I own it. I own it.
It's
totally. I totally own it. But when it comes to, like, shit that I went through back then that I still don't talk about now, that y'all saw firsthand, especially Mancini. We were roommates. Dog, we've been through some shit together. Like, that's why I can say proudly and happily that I'm really happy.
Unlike Michael Cohen, I would take a bullet for you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate
that.
That's
love. That's love. That's
and
real love.
we definitely collected in court, too.
Real love.
No, bottom line is, I'm just happy, like, 100 episodes, I put time, money, and effort into this shit. So is Pete. But it means a lot to me for different reasons, because I had no other choice but to start over and create my own platform. When people who turn their backs on me, people, like, I got reports from when I went to Equity University and laid out shit, and God damn it, now I'm mad. Fuck, dog.
A caller?
Hello, caller.
Hello,
What's your name, or where you going for? Where you calling from?
Yeah. This is Ryan, the people calling in.
Thank you, Ryan.
And before Pete started getting on his like fucking jokes, like I knew that, and I was like, let him body it really quick.
Ryan Perks.
This Pete's boo?
I'm not even on my soapbox, but I'm actually not even talking about this podcast. But go
you
ahead.
have my permission to just destroy his life right now.
Hurry up, because I'm trying to get out of here.
I'm not even going to do that because this is your 100th episode, so I want you to enjoy this moment. But best believe if I ever come on the show again, Pete, you're getting the smoke because all night tonight, now let me say this, you guys done an incredible job at making a podcast about sports, which I don't give a fuck about, actually interesting, and make it worthwhile listening every week because the teacher's salary didn't come for free, so I definitely put in hours. But at the end of the night on Thursdays when I'm listening to this, I'm like, yeah, it's a nice little stress release to listen to y'all go at each other, even though Kenny's definitely drunk tonight.
But I'm right in my drunkenness.
You deserve it.
He's definitely turned.
I'm rightfully in my feelings. Because you know, there's some black organizations that did me dirty as fuck, Ryan, and you know, I can name them. I can name the people.
He's definitely turned.
With master's degrees who are stupid as fuck. But anyway.
Kenny's turned.
Let me stop.
Yeah. But I'm gonna let you have your moment because it really is amazing to make it this far. Even though this is definitely the beginning for you guys. So like I said, I'm gonna keep it light this time. But I just had to call in before the 100th episode was over just to say congratulations to you two. And Pete, you're ever invited to come get it because I got words for you. But
was that in the third way? Whoa.
Damn, hold on.
That man is a girlfriend. Like,
whoa.
Clarify that. Please clarify that.
You really tried it there. Y'all really are drinking.
No, he tried it. She's in the studio right now.
Come get it in the high desert.
In all honesty, Pete probably did try it. We've been around the same people for a long time.
Damn.
But, mental block happens.
You have to help him find a good barber, though.
Damn.
What?
You have to help find a good barber because his hairline is shit. He has Russian cutting his hair. He has Russian KGB fucking agents cutting his hair.
Hey, my mic was moved that whole time.
No, your mic has been on the whole time, Pete.
But dealing with you, Kenny, every week, the fact that he still has a hairline is, respectable.
Man. So, I wish I could point down. I don't know if that was a diss at him.
Hey, Ryan, I was just kidding when I was talking
Ryan.
about teachers. My girl, my best friends are teachers, so that's why I was just talking.
He said my girl broke.
Your girl's a teacher, fine. You ain't gonna kick it.
First of all, if you didn't have teachers in your life, you wouldn't be having this podcast.
Oh, no, 100%. No, 100%. Shout out to Miss Oberdink. Ninth grade.
Oberdink?
No, for Oberdink. No, shout out to her, man.
She said Omar raising cookies out her trunk?
No, man. She just believed. She believed in my writing talent before I even did.
She believed that your writing talent was above your hairline skills?
Hey, boy, what's up?
No, his hairline isn't the problem. It's who he lets touch the hairline. That seems to be the issue.
Nah, his structural hairline is fucked up. He touches.
That's dirty.
Who he touches?
All right, can I get some of my shit so we can get out of here?
You want me to tell the story?
Thank you, Ryan.
Ryan's just gonna stay on the line while you tell your story.
Thank you, Ryan.
We really appreciate you.
Good to hear
What's
you,
your
Ryan.
snap?
He's thirsty. He's dying of thirst over here.
All these people in this room, you don't need Brandon.
Don't call me out by name.
All right, well, have a good night, guys. Nice to hear from you too, Ryan. Be so long, Steph, or sit the fuck down. I don't give a fuck. Anyway. But anyway, have a good night, and congratulations on your 100th episode.
Thank you.
All right, I need all the mics muted.
Yeah,
mute all the mics. I need to go.
All right, no.
I got some shit to say.
He's gonna go in and he has some mega shit.
I got all the shit to say.
Nah, don't mute mine though.
I'm gonna just mute mine because he wants me to shut the fuck.
Yeah.
No, I want all y'all. I want us muted. It's supposed the way it was designed. Anyway,
we just talk about no NFL shit.
No, we do.
About the majority of it. Talk about a lot. That's why we're so good.
All right, man. Fuck up. Come on. This is why you're not the A mic. Fuck.
This is podcast.
Anyways, first of all, I already saw. Because he alluded to entry, but question was Jimmy up, to relax myself as I listen to podcasts, man. And if you listen to me before, Jim Roman, because because he's essentially built his life. And that was a big inspiration when developing this whole shit. Was I only wanted to develop my show to create a more on, man. See, like one time I thought it was just some fucking man. That gone even the cloud. These are things who have impact, who have lives. In fact, they're teachers, if they work and like for me, man, big thing because like Kenny always says, man, I'm really fucking conglomerate. I thought of that shit, man. I watched podcast about the Bay Area. If you haven't seen that on Netflix, check it out. But see, one of the big messages of that fucking show was talking about digital E40, about Too Short, different, completely different sounds. I'm like, we're not trying to gritty, we ain't trying to train, like, we ain't trying to make it okay. And since I really got past sports media, it's just I don't want to go to work. I don't want to go to New Jersey. I fucking hate the Northeast. I love my culture. I love my teams here. I love my people here. Like my dad, you're not gonna convince us better than here, and that's why I do this shit, man. Because it's the best coast teams in the pretty time zone, maybe even Texas. Okay, heavily skewed this way because this game needs. I'm glad to be here. I know I wouldn't be. I just kind of today by bitch move. And Kenny alluded to he's drunk, but that man, this dude's a fucking wild person. You're from his rank, fucker. And honestly, man, I love him and I challenge him every single day to think outside of himself and think outside of his mind and outside of his perspective and what he wants. I do. Yeah, because it's not all about you. It's not. Even this podcast isn't about you. Yeah, that's why you're speaking in the mic that's not on. Anyways, you're muted. I don't want you on. You can wait. Anyways, like I was saying, man, the point is, like, I challenge Kenny every single day, every single week to think outside of himself, think bigger than just what he wants and what he wants to do. And honestly, Kenny does the same shit for me. You know, he pushes me to think about myself and what I want to do and the culture that I want to do. And he teaches me not to always play by the status quo. And that's why I'll fuck with him. And that's why this podcast works. Because as we decided on last week, in the Norm's parking lot after we ate a fucking gourmet dinner for $40. 4 courses. I can't say it in my mic, but that's fact. 4 courses.
Last 3 things.
4 courses. As we decided, this is where the unpopular opinion meets the status quo for compelling conversations that elevate the culture and stimulate NFL heads. That's Touchdowns and Tangents. That's what this fucking podcast is like. So yeah, man, you can catch us on X Squad affiliates, FBC Radio, the Good News radio station. Hopefully, your favorite podcast app as soon as Speaker starts fucking with us and lets us upgrade our shit and push our shit back out to all the podcast networks. But yeah, I love you, Speaker. But yeah, just stop fucking with me.
I don't like it. And personally,
fuck with them.
Anyways, man, shout out to Brandon, shout out to Mancini for being the only people that are here. Shout out to Smart and Final for providing the snacks.
Shout out to Ryan.
Shout out to all the people that called in. Shout out to all the people that didn't call in.
Shout out to John, Moran, Jordan.
Shout out to Funyuns. Shout out to Doritos. Shout out to Donut Holes Cookies.
Even though Jordan Raul was too lazy to come out here.
Shout out to Ruffles.
Lazy ass.
Shout out to Funyuns. Shout out to my unborn kids. Shout out to In-N-Out.
Shout out to
my future ex-baby mama who
okay, now he's drunk,
that
bro.
Shorty too.
This is why you're a fucking wild card.
Honestly, that's probably what's going to happen.
All right, man. Stop the podcast. Let's get out of here.
Shout out to Raisa.
Raisa, right you?
Shout out to right.
Her name is spelled like that, dog. Don't get me started. But nah, real shit. I just want to say, honestly, though.
You already got your time. The podcast is over.
Fuck that. Yeah, I know. But not for real. Thank y'all.
It's over.
Thank y'all, Brandon. And holy shit, I almost forgot your name, Ryan.
What? At least it wasn't mine.
Thank you, Mancini.
Someone give this man the curtain call.
I need some water. Thank you. I need some milk. But not for real. Thank y'all for coming on, man. I appreciate this.
Milk.
And yet again, we created a platform because, honestly,
we'll be on next with Penny for Your Thoughts.
Yeah, Penny for Your Thoughts. Real niggas, they don't even know, bro. They don't even know all the shit we were creating. So it's like, fuck it. The future's in our hands, and that's where we taking it, wherever the fuck we want to take it. So, God bless.
Touchdowns and Tangents.
Sorry,
XBC Radio.
Sorry, Keith, for going like 35 minutes over, but I'm in my feelings and I'm drunk.
But we not sorry.
I'm not sorry in the motherfucking slightest. I'm going to be honest. Bong, bong, bong.
Hey, Brandon, spit some bars.
Get that shit. Go underscore BMAC. I just want y'all to know,
let me get the
these niggas ate most of the cookies. I only had like 5.
Stop the podcast. Stop the podcast.
Fuck that. I want to hear the beat drop. Go. I want to hear that part.
Funk Master Kenny.
Kenny, and Jack Daniels Kenny are two different people.
Kenny 4-5.
Kenny 73.
If you go on my Instagram, you know I got some raps on there actually. I only got one rap actually. The So Gone beat. I had a rap to
that So Gone challenge, you killed that shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey.
That shit was
I
good.
killed that shit. Hey,
Brandon's like the blackest white dude I know.
If you give me the Sub Zombie right now, I'll kill it right now on air.
Nah, we're done. We're going home. We're fucking tired.